Hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome in. This is the first ever Sonic Therapy podcast where we will be discussing musical topics throughout history every Monday from 6 to 9 p.m. Hopefully, you're all having a great start to your day. Let me just detail the format for you guys while we start out here. We're going to start with doing some fun blind rankings. I'm going to piss off Phrygian here, my friend from college. I'm going to upset him for a little bit because I know this list and these blind reactions are going to torture him, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And then we'll be moving into our main topic, which is the top 100 guitarists of all time. You guys know I hate Rolling Stone lists, and we're going to fix them. This will be based on not only their playing longevity, but also their longevity, their impact on the industry, their legacy, their songwriting, etc. Now, the fun part will be each of us get 3 vetoes. So if we think someone's too low on the list, we can veto it. And then we can fix our own mistakes. Now, as you guys know, I'm on the rocks. This is, like I said, my old college running mate, cohort, partner in crime, fellow guitar player, Phrygian. And we've been involved in music since, the 90s?
Yeah.
So we go back. Yeah, so we go back quite a ways. We're going to get these lists looking right. So, here we are. We're going to get into the blind rankings. And like I said, this is where I am going to ask you, and I'm going to give you 5 bands, okay, or 5 options. You have to list them 1 to 5, okay? And you don't know who's coming next. So, here's what I want you to do. I want you to rank these albums from the 90s in order. Tool, Undertow.
Point at 5.
Number 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I thought you would have had that higher. Rage Against the Machine's Evil Empire.
Oh, I'm pointing at 2 because I feel like you're gonna throw me one that's gonna just nail it, but that's a huge one. 2.
Metallica's Black Album.
Ooh. Oh no. Here's where you got me already. Okay. You know what? Fine, I'll put it I don't have to put 1 if I put Rage 2. Hope the rest works
Red
out.
Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Damn, the second album I ever bought. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to put it 3rd now, but that would, yeah, okay, go.
Nirvana's Nevermind.
Yeah, okay, 4.
So that's gonna have to be 4.
Yeah, in hindsight, probably would have switched it up, but the Peppers one was huge for me. Second CD I ever bought.
I'm honestly shocked you put Tool at number 5.
You know what? I'm okay with it.
I thought, you know what? If I start off with that, you're gonna have a conundrum, and you just went right at 5. Okay.
Yeah, I needed space, but I didn't give enough when I went with my number 2. So
yeah, I knew I was gonna throw you Nirvana at 5. That's why I threw Metallica at you. So it was
sure
in that spot. Okay, we're gonna do the same one again. Rank these guitar brands from 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Kramer.
5.
Ibanez.
4.
Schecter.
Shit. Fine, 3.
BC Rich.
Oh, I hate you. Okay, you had me thinking the worst. Fine, 2. Listen, don't say Epiphone's number 1. I will be so upset.
Jackson.
Okay, well, I do like my Jacksons, but
see, I thought I knew where your head was going the minute I asked you that. When
he's going to throw a Gibson in there, he's going to throw Fender. I thought you were going
Paul
for the
Reed
obvious
Smith.
ones. Yeah, I was honestly saving number 1 for PRS. They are still to me goated.
Yeah, see, I figured if I said rank these guitar brands and I went Fender, Gibson, it would be the that's what everyone expects.
Right, yeah. So I'm kind of gaining an idea of how you're trying to play with my mind. But you know what? Now I'm going to start thinking that, and you're going to revert it back to, the August ones, and I'm going to screw myself up.
Look, this is my challenge to you. So, at the end of it, you're going to get me back one day. I
I
know
will.
this,
I will.
right?
We're testing the waters here.
Exactly.
I'm a
This,
newbie. I'm a virgin to this stuff, guys. Wow.
I know, like, you know,
Not many things I am virgin.
yeah, like, this is Matt's first time doing a live stream. So,
Yeah, be gentle.
I have to be
Ish.
somewhat nice to him. So I've got one more blind ranking for you.
Okay, I'm feeling good
Rank
about this one.
rank these rank these guitar solos.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
Without knowing who comes next. Phil
Yeah.
Collen, Let's Get Rocked, Def Leppard.
Oh, I love it. It's so catchy. But you know what? I'm putting that at 5.
You're gonna put it at 5? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brian May, Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen.
Ooh. Okay. I want to try number 2, but I'm going to say 3. I'm going to put it at 3.
You put it at 3.
Yeah.
Slash, November Rain, Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yeah, that can't be Bohemian. That's got to be 4 of them.
Okay. Mark Knopfler's Sultan of Swing, Dire Straits.
Yeah, that's 2.
And then Jimi Hendrix, Voodoo Child.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm a huge Jimmy fan. I want to put him at 1 on this. I think out of that, really, Sultan's is just so badass. I mean, they all are. I
Yeah.
think Hendrix would have been lower on the list. And again, that's a lot coming from me because, I'm a super fan. Like, I mean, hell, I've got like the white Hendrix guitar behind me and everything. So
You do. For those of you who don't know Matt has the wildest guitar collection. And maybe if we reach our Patreon goal sometime, I'll get him to post some stuff on the Patreon to
nice.
Entice you guys to see his guitar collection
A little show
because
and tell.
because that is freaking insane. And as a note, the minute he got on the cam call with me here today, he pointed out that he took the guitar that I've been trying to get off him for almost a decade,
Long time.
and he will not get rid of it. Okay. And it's a Slash Appetite Les Paul, and he just does this to fuck with me.
Yeah.
All the time. He just
Well,
does it.
If anyone's looking at the live stream, I mean, I could show it real quick.
Yeah. There's people watching right now. We got some people if you want to show it.
This one's the Appetite for Destruction / Les Paul with the crazy logo.
See, like this is what this guy does to me.
One
One
of the best tops you can get on it too. Not to brag or anything. Like
yeah. You know what though? He also owns a Nickelback signature guitar, so
hey, that thing's worth more than the Slash right now.
I know, but that thing, it kind of, brings him back to earth a little bit,
It takes away my man card a little bit there.
Yeah. This is how you remind me of how bad your guitar choices can be.
You know what? Like the thing's awesome, but I really wish there wasn't star side markers.
Yeah.
That part's cringy. You're looking down doing a solo and you're reminded. You remind me how you're playing a goofy ass star inlaid guitar. But
someone in the chat just said if you ever sell that, all you're gonna get is a Nickelback.
You know what? Anyone who hasn't checked it out on Reverb or eBay, just out of curiosity, take a look afterwards because
I don't even want to know how much that thing's worth.
Yeah. Well, I've been debating selling it and just buying a couple PRSs with it, just to let you know how much it's worth.
Sell me the Slash and you can get a couple PRSs.
No, this my dad made me promise I wouldn't sell that one.
God damn it. He played the dad card on me.
Yeah, that's right.
God damn it. See, now I got to go find one because that thing is. Last I looked on Reverb, the Appetite's running almost 10 grand, right?
Yeah. And the Blackwater's running the same and above.
Yeah.
But yeah. Last one we saw legitimately sell on eBay was 10,000.
The only reason I don't think that Appetite sells for as much as it could is because Gibson's released all the Slash Les Pauls.
Yeah, which I was real impressed with.
I know you were.
My sarcasm. So.
Yeah. So if you want,
inferior guitar, but it's still a Slash.
Yeah, right. So it's like what you have is like the Cadillac, and the other ones are like the Mazda 3. Of Slash guitars, right?
I mean, they're nice, but I mean they don't have the custom headstock image, and they don't have the tops like this one. But yeah, we could go on and on. But then we could make 3 hours just on Slash guitars.
You know what like I'll leave it at this though. You know what I'm wondering, if the Firebird Slashes are worth more than the Appetite.
Maybe at this point,
because
again,
they didn't release like a whole line of his Firebirds other than the Epiphone, but
yeah,
that's not really in the conversation, really, right? So,
no, exactly. Scarcity creates value, right? So
yeah, and if you got one of the autographed ones, it's probably well into the 15,000 range, I would think, for one of those.
So nicely flamed out too.
Dude, I could have bought one for like $4,200 when it came out, and I'm like, I just couldn't justify spending $4,200 at the time on a Firebird.
Yeah, I feel you.
But
but you don't want something with a neck dive,
dude.
You're rocking out like, wow.
If I would have kept my ES335 from the early 90s, right, that thing would be worth a bloody fortune right now.
They're still, well, you know what, you'd be surprised. You can still get them for a decent price. There's one selling locally, and I've been kind of peeking at it here and there, and I'm like, you know what's going to happen though? I'm going to buy that. It's going to sit there like, well, obviously a lot of other ones sit there, but when am I ever really a 335 kind of guy?
Well, yeah, unless you're doing country.
I love country though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But that's the only time I would see you using it.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That just makes me think of a guy for the list. Hang on, and I gotta look him up. Dude's badass.
He's doing his list on the fly, folks.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta improvise here.
Exactly.
I just can't remember what the guy's name is. He plays a 335. He's a monster.
BB King?
No, I would know that. Dude, if I don't know that, take me off this right now.
I was just gonna say, I was just gonna end it here and say, well, we had a good run.
Sorry,
we had a good
everyone.
16-minute run, folks. But it's time to go.
I'm not gonna think of who it is either. He's a new guy.
So yeah, like I was saying, so we can get started on the top 100 guitar.
Yeah.
Feeling that
just like
well, unless we want to go longer, but I have a feeling that we are going to eat into that time pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
So like I was saying at the start, we are going to be doing the top 100 guitarists of all time. We are going to alternate back and forth. Matt's going to start at 100, then I'll do 99, 98. Once we get to the top 10, that's when you will see us probably debate things out a little bit more in terms of placing and so forth. We do have 3 vetoes. So if we think someone's too low, we can veto it. And if we do veto someone's choice too low, they can't choose that person again, because that basically means we have to. The person who vetoes it will pretty much choose their positioning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you want to get started? Who would you have at number 100 to get things started here?
Okay. Let's start strong and a little bit of shock value with this one, okay? And I'll explain it. I'm going to put Tim Henson from Polyphia.
Tim Henson, okay.
Yeah, okay. Monster guitar player. Listen, with time, the guy's there. But that's just it. With time, he's not there. He still has to pay his. Now they're jamming with Steve props to you, and well deserved. I'm going to start him off as number 100.
I'm actually shocked you went Tim Henson.
Yeah.
I think like you said, he still has to pay his dues. So if you're gonna put him in here, he's got to be in this range. And I'll tell you, I didn't have him on my list. So
well, that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people would. And then I mean, we hear the term boomer thrown around a lot. These guys that make the list, like Rolling Stone, this and that, and the other thing, aren't paying credit where credit's due to some of these guys that are coming in just absolutely slaying.
that, yeah, like, because it's the old boys club, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm guilty of it too, right?
Yeah.
Like my list is, kind of stops, pretty much in the 90ish. No, like I do have some newer stuff on there, but
Yeah.
yeah, like, and the other thing we got to point out is because both Matt and I are Canadian, we are gonna have Canadians in this list that lists like Rolling Stone, unless they're a like Alex Lifeson, who even Rolling Stone put it like 75th or something on their list. That's the only time you'll ever see a Canadian put on their list, and there are some phenomenal Canadian guitarists, as we will get into. Okay, so for me, this one, 99 is a sentimental kind of pick. He was a founding member of one of my favorite bands of all time, one of the best-selling debut albums of all time, and his songwriting and his rhythm work on this album, I think, earns him a spot. Some will argue with me that he doesn't belong in the top 100, but if you have just that on your resume, I think he makes it, and it is Izzy Stradlin.
Cool. No, I dig Izzy. I've no complaints about that. It's funny as you're saying that and you're leading up to it. I was going to say, hey, does he belong to the band that's on your shirt? But I bet you have Chris up higher. He's on your list. I bet.
You're gonna have to wait and find out.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what? He might be on mine too. So
Okay.
Cool. I like it.
So who do you have for number 98?
I'm gonna put Jeff Loomis, another pretty newer guy playing Nevermore, now playing with Arch Enemy. One of the very few guys I've ever seen be able to play Jason Becker and Marty Friedman note for note, and not just note but feel, like all the cacophony stuff the guy can do, like altitudes and images and everything, and just monster.
Yeah.
But again, one of these guys too, like a little newer. What impact has he had on music as a whole? Well, probably less as far as that. For guitar players, especially ones from the past 10 years, a lot better influence. And again, one of these guys that, won't make a boomer list, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's the other thing too, right? Like we are kind of in that age group where we're in the sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
Because
not Gen X, like there's another term for it. We're in that kind of like weird fringe where we're just a little bit of that, but a little bit of another one.
Well, I'm Gen X.
Yeah.
Being 78. And I think you're in like that Zennial range.
That's what it was,
younger.
Zennial. Yeah, they said 79 to 82 was like Zennial.
Yeah. And so like we're in that sweet spot where we would listen to albums from like the Rolling Stones and Janis Joplin and the Doors and all that. But then we were also getting like this bombardment of new music, like the Seattle scene, LA in the 80s, New York with the punk stuff. And, we were just getting this bombardment of music coming at us. Right. Yeah. So I think we're, we kind of have a unique perspective on it, but you're right. Newer artists definitely need to, get their just due, right?
Yeah.
With that being said, I am going to put on one of those legendary punk guitar players from
Okay.
New York at 97. And I'm some will say, you know, he was a power chord Andy or whatever the case may be. But you know what? He wrote some amazing, or he was part of some amazing punk songs. And I'm going Johnny Ramone at
Okay.
97.
That's cool. No argument with that either.
You know, I can't, I want him on the list, but I just can't sit there and justify him being any higher. But his influence on the punk scene, right, is right up there with the Ramones are up there with Sex Pistols, the Clash, and down the line, right? So
Yep.
I gotta put Johnny Ramone there at
Cool.
number 97.
Nice. Okay, so my next one, I'm gonna pick Dave Sabo from Skid Row.
Dave
No.
Sabo.
Yeah.
You know what?
SABO. What's his nickname? Was it the Snake?
The
I think
Snake.
Dave
Yeah.
the Snake Sabo.
I didn't even have him on my list, dude. You
It's
might
another one where, like, you know, huge influence on me for sure was a tactician. Like, great soloing, melody, feel. You can sing his solos, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even have to sit down and learn some of his stuff and basically hash it all up. So that is huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
That's a good choice. I honestly, you know, when you look at Skid Row, it's one of those 80s bands that you kind of forget about in a way.
Yeah, well, they could have went further, but you know, such as the infighting and all that other stuff, and they could have had longevity.
Yeah, and like the thing is for me too, like, and this might shock you when I look through my list, I have very few guys from the 80s.
Oh man. I'll go to fill it up. Let's
Which
go.
which I know you are going to
Yeah.
you're going to pick up that slack.
Yeah.
But like I have some from the 80s,
Yeah.
but you know, there's a lot of those bands where they just fall through through the cracks, right?
Yeah.
And Skid Row, I feel like, is one of those bands.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, you know, if we're looking at bands like that, you know, CC DeVille's not gonna I respect what he did for the band. He's the right fit, you know.
Yeah.
Slash said the same thing.
Yeah.
Because Slash did the audition first. As he's walking out, he sees a guy dressed, you know, practically like a woman with hair and the and it's like, okay, that guy's got a gig for sure.
Yeah, like you know what's funny is that like I still wonder to this day what would have happened if Slash was in Poison.
Oh, I don't want to wonder. I'm so glad we don't have to debate that. My God.
Like, what would have happened to Poison? Would they have gone? Like, think about it. Would you? Because Slash wrote Coma.
Yeah.
Would Poison have done Coma? And what would
I
it
don't
sound like? You know, when you look on those filters nowadays, and they have like former older artists like covering a new song.
Yeah.
It would be great to hear what Coma would have sounded like with
Yeah.
Poison.
You know what? I wonder what Bret Michaels would sound like singing "Don't Cry."
Oh my God.
You know, probably not too bad, but let's just be thankful that we don't have to use that.
Yeah.
Let's not multiverse this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I'm at number 97 right now. Or sorry, 95 right now. And I have two guys that I want to get in here.
Okay.
And I think they'll be my next two choices. I'm just trying to figure out who to put first, and this is where I'm having a bit of a dilemma right now.
Okay.
I am going to go at number 95 on this list is going to be Larry Lalonde from Primus.
Okay.
And the reason I have him in this list is when you think of like, I always looked at Primus like a modern day Rush,
Yeah.
right? You had three pieces, right? You have this bass player that's out of this world. The drummers are out of this world, and you have to have a guitar player that can keep up
Yeah.
and fit
Yeah.
that.
You not only understand the time signatures, the feel. Yeah, there becomes this like synchronicity when you're with guys, and you just can feed off each other without even like knowing it's telepathic, right? So.
Yeah, and I think, and we could debate this because I don't want to have a Nuno moment here, but
Yeah, we're not getting to that right now.
if you took anybody on either of our 100 guitar players and tried to fit them into Primus, I don't know who fits.
Yeah.
So that, like, he has that uniqueness. He's a phenomenal guitar player.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna put him at 95.
Okay.
So that's where I'm going with that one.
Right on.
Okay, you're up, my friend.
Okay. I'm gonna burn off another hair metal one. I'm gonna put Warren DeMartini. Another guy that huge influence on the hair metal scene. I mean, good enough that he has his own signature guitars. A lot of people follow him still.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, it's the guy from Rat. He's got some iconic riffs. Followed him on that
Okay.
Monsters of Rock thing. There's even debate that they're as big as Van Halen at the time. Now, I mean, you ask me, absolutely no way. But
Yeah.
I will give him credit. I mean, again, monster player. So I put him in there.
Okay. See, I knew everyone. I knew I didn't have to worry about the 80s because I knew Matt was going to be here.
Man, how many 80s guitars? I was actually going to put my Hot Pink right behind me. That'll be for maybe another episode.
Another one. Every backdrop is going to be different.
Yeah, you damn right.
Know this. Like, it still boggles my mind how many guitars you have. Okay. So we're at 93. I think I have to put this one in now. You'll know who he is. Not a lot of people, I think, will outside of Canada.
Right.
Because this is going to be one of my Canadian guys.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go Jeff Martin from the Tea Party.
Yeah. That's crazy.
If you've never heard of the Tea Party.
Oh, man.
For those people out there.
Bum me out, though. His solo album sucked. And it had, like, the guy plays like Jimmy Page. He can sing like Jim Morrison. He looks like him. And his solo album was such a dud. But the stuff he does with Tea Party is awesome.
Yeah, and I also have to be honest, too. There's a little bias because he's from Windsor. And
there you go.
And they play here all the time.
Nice.
But like, honestly, like, you listen to the Splendor Solstice album, and yeah, he gets a lot of slack for sounding like Morrison, but the things he can do on a guitar are freaking unreal.
Yeah.
So, like I said, kind of at the start, we're going to have some Canadians on here. Actually, we'll probably have a few Canadians on here, unlike other lists. And I had to, I don't think he would fit in the 80s range.
No.
So that's why I've got him at 93.
Yeah, no, that's a fair one.
So now, are you going to go on the 80s train again? Or are you actually going to go, where are you going with number 92?
Okay, I'm like going through, I have a couple lists generated right now. I have my own, a couple other things I was bouncing some ideas back and forth on.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me go with, and again, this is more, okay, it's another Canadian.
Okay.
And it's more the fact that I know what he did for music and what he did for, guitars, especially Canadian guitarists, but like he's not a big influence of mine, but he has to be on here, is Pat Travers.
Pat Travers. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Another
Okay.
monster guitar player, Pat Travers band. I kind of feel ashamed that I can't speak more of him. I just know like that sticks. That was one of them. But
Yeah.
then you find what really sticks. I mean, hey, he showed me Frank Zappa, who like way over my head at the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't take away the fact that Zappa's an incredible musician, composer, guitarist, this, that, everything.
Yeah.
But and he will make the list. Don't worry about that. But again, Pat Travers kind of falls in that too, where I didn't really follow him. I was more into like stuff like Boston and Hendrix and Allman Brothers and all that. So, but yeah,
And
I'm throwing him in there. But I think within the 90, yeah,
yeah. Okay, so
no E at the end.
one thing I've got. Oh, no E. Oh, sorry. I'm getting a message here saying that your mic is cutting out a little bit. So
Minus. Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah.
let's see. Maybe it's on my end. I just gotta turn you up a little bit, or yeah, we'll give that a try and see how it works.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you for pointing that out in the chat. Okay, we are at number 91 now.
Mm-hmm.
91. Do I keep the Canadian train rolling, or okay, so whenever you move away from the mic, when you move back, apparently it starts
Okay.
cutting out. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
New
territory, like I said.
Yes, you're learning.
That's right.
Learning.
See, can teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna jump off the Canadian train here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go with, and I have a feeling you're gonna think this is way too low. But
Do we have our first veto?
I'm thinking we should.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Kim Tile from Soundgarden at 91.
No, that's fine. I'm good with it.
Okay.
You know what? I don't know why. I appreciate his riffs and everything. Something that just bugs me about that guy. And I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I just look at Bad Motorfinger and then how he switched it up for Super Unknown.
Yeah.
And I always saw him as kind of one-dimensional until Super Unknown came out.
I think even his demeanor just kind of. I think it was just like a nervous thing. I think he is probably just super introverted. Just found very standoff.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were gonna have an issue with that one, but I figured, I think he's another guy. Like, here's the funny thing about our list so far.
Mm-hmm.
Not one of our top 10 or first 10 were even in Rolling Stone's top 100 list.
Not a one, eh?
Not one of them.
Huh.
So I this just makes me feel like we're on the right track.
I think so. I think there's something we appreciate with the list we've got so far. I like it. I like where we're going.
It's diverse, right? And that's the one thing that whenever I look at these Rolling Stone lists, they always kind of they always say, well, we had 53 people deciding and voting on this list, and it's like, that's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
For me, right? And everybody has such different tastes that they don't really look at the whole entire picture, or body of work that they've done, right?
No, for sure.
So we are going to be rounding out the the first 10 anyway.
Okay.
Who do you
I
have
got
at
a good
number
one.
90?
Oh, let's go. Okay. I'm going to throw this. This man would not appear on a Rolling Stones list. He, the front man.
You cut out again on me here.
Did
Sorry.
I?
Yeah.
Okay. From the band Death, Chuck Schuldiner.
Who was that?
Chuck Schuldiner from Death.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Okay, so again, he is, as far as I'm concerned, rest his soul, but like the real grandfather of death metal. And I'm not talking heavy metal, death metal, progressive, technical death metal.
Okay.
That man was a monster. You should also hear him cover Painkiller by. Whoa.
So why at 90?
Well, again, this is a tough one. I've got a lot of other kind of come that I think, had more impact on music as a whole.
Yeah.
You're not going to hear.
I got you. You completely cut out there now.
Man, it's a tough. Hang on. Okay, so is it? Am I spacing?
There might be
Unless, do you think the fan's throwing it off?
No, I think what it might be is you might need to turn the gain up on your mic.
Sure, let's do that. As long as I don't clip out.
No,
You guys let me know.
I can fix it if you start clipping out.
Okay, let's try this. How are we?
That's better, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. And I'll try not to do my lean back thing.
That's okay.
Okay. All right. So yeah, no, like I said, with Chuck, I think he's got to be on the list. Know that I've ever seen him on any list. But again, the impact he had on death metal, massive.
Okay. I was like, you know what? You've thrown out guys that and players I don't even have on my list.
Wicked.
So
that's why we're doing it, man.
Exactly. This is why I wanted to go back and forth rather than try to just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because going back and forth allows us to have kind of build the list out, separate from each other, right? But at the same time, learn a little bit about some of these players as well, right? So let's get in 89 here. Might feel a little low, but I think this is the right spot. And we're gonna go Lita Ford.
Okay.
As our first female guitar player on the list.
No, that's pretty good.
And
I got no issues with that.
She's a pioneer, right?
Yeah.
In terms of just a female guitar player that could just hang with the boys.
Yeah.
She was kind of that, right? And there's other females on the list, but in that age of harder rock, without trying to give away who else I might have on the list.
I mean, I know one for sure.
Yeah. I think Lita Ford has to be on this list for sure.
Right on.
So I feel this is a good spot for her.
Cool. Well, since we're in the range of the 80s, how about another 80s guitarist for you?
Okay, so I'm ready
this
for
guy,
it.
Okay, I mean, I can play, and this licks I will make you work for it. Veto'd from White Lion.
Oh.
His solo for Little Fighter this day. Did he just fuck? He's a mom.
White Lion.
Yeah, it's going back, eh?
I was definitely not expecting White Lion from you. The White Lion always I shouldn't say reminds me of Steel Panther. Always reminds me of White Lion.
Yeah. I'm going to see them in September.
Yeah, they always kind of gave me that vibe.
Yeah.
And I didn't see that coming. Oh, okay.
Derek's not well right now, guys. This is good.
Well, because you throw something like that at me, and then I'm like going like, okay, so far you have no one on my list, which means this is making it harder for me because I am going to have to pare down my list.
Yeah. I think we are going to get to a point when we get closer to the top 20. It's going to get scary.
Yeah, and so I'm sitting here going like, I have all these players at the top of my list, right? And then I have these guys I want to try and get in on my list, but because you have thrown me all these goddamn curveballs, some of mine are not going to make this list. And then
No.
I don't want to try and squeeze in the guys at the end and sacrifice who I want up top.
Right.
So
it's going to get interesting.
You are throwing me some goddamn curveballs here. God damn it. I kind of want to throw an 80s guitarist out there, but if I do, you're probably going to veto it already. Okay. So I don't know if I want to put him out there yet. You know what? I'm going to go with I'm going to go with a frontman that also plays rhythm guitar right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to go James Hetfield.
Okay.
At 87.
Yeah, you know what? I like that.
And my reasoning is great rhythm guitar player from Metallica, obviously. Amazing. Right? But the one lingering question for Metallica with me is what if they would have had Mustaine and Hammett? Because how much more badass would have Metallica have been had Burton not died and you have Hammett and Mustaine right now?
Yeah.
They, you know, I've heard I've heard Lars Ulrich play drums lately, and I don't even know how they stay in time. No. But when you look at James Hetfield, I feel like that's a good spot for him.
Yeah, I like it.
And it's only because and it's only because I keep thinking, what if they would have kept Dave Mustaine around?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you know who else is on my list with that statement, but they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm going to piggyback on that one then. Okay. And I'm going to and see if this might be our first veto. I'm going to put Kirk right after. And the reason why, if I were to pick who I think is a better guitar player, I would pick James all day, every day. But I can't deny what Kirk brought to the scene with, you know, the solo in one. You know, his energy, his youth came into there.
Well, I caught
guys who
you cut out for a whole sentence there.
Oh, I said you can't deny like his influence. And you know, I know guys collect basically everything that involves Kirk.
Yeah.
Remember, yeah. So I'm gonna put him.
Yeah,
I think he's around the edges is the best way. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I think that's a solid spot for him.
Okay.
You know, he's he's one of and I don't want this in my opinion, he comes across as a complimentary guitarist.
Yeah.
A complimentary lead guitarist. I don't know how good Hammett would be if you were to put him with, let's just say, if you didn't have the talent that's around him.
Agreed.
Right. During the
honestly, I think he'd be better in a blues band.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty simple.
Yeah, like during their peak, like as much as Lars, I don't know what happened to him and his drumming, but
Mhm.
you can't take anything away from in their prime. He was a phenomenal drummer. Then you have Cliff Burton,
Yeah.
right? Later Jason Newsted, but mostly Cliff Burton. And then you have Hetfield and him. Like I think he's a phenomenal guitarist. I'm not taking anything away from that, but
Mhm.
he has like an all-star group around him,
Yeah.
which I don't think you could say for like Guns N' Roses.
No, no, and you know what too? Like I think credit to him for getting the lessons from. I think it actually expanded. That's
Yeah, you just cut
seems
out
like,
again. I just got
man.
to figure this out.
I wonder if it's.
Did you wait you
I
know what it might be on the
think it's
blue?
my internet connection, maybe, but
No, but I think on the blue microphone too, there's like a directional thing.
yeah, I've got it on the second pattern, so it should be pretty open. It's not
Oh, okay.
hypercardioid; it's cardioid. It should be the best one.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just put up my gain again.
Yeah. So we'll see if that, because
Okay.
I feel like it's there's a point where if your voice drops below a certain uh decibel, it's cutting out on you.
Yeah, I did move the fan anyway, just in case. The other thing
Okay.
too, those that are listening don't know. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it's out again.
less than fast. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's like I said, this is the first one, so it's a bit of a learning experience, and
yeah,
we'll just have to we'll figure it out as we go.
that's right.
I just don't want to lose your explanation, so that if I kind of cut over you there, it's because I you cut out. So
Yeah, all good.
maybe turn off noise reduction.
Do I have it on mine? Is it settings
Uh,
on this one?
there might be.
There's no
Um,
settings in particular on the mic. I can tell you that much.
no, there's definitely not on the mic. Um,
I'll just go
there
to my
is.
setting.
Yeah, we can kind of take a little pause here.
Yeah.
If you want to try and
There's an automatic determined input sensitivity. Uh,
maybe that's it then.
I can turn that off, and then we just go with check 1 2 2 2. Okay,
That's
that's
already
showing.
sounding better.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah,
it
let's
was
try.
probably
Let's try
check 1
keeping
2.
it at that,
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
and then we'll
Yeah, I can
see.
see that. I can see I'm not clipping on this end, so that's good. I'll
Yeah,
even give it a little bit more of a crank. Check 1 2. How's that?
yeah, sounds great.
Okay, let's go with that.
Let's run with that. And
Okay,
thank you for that, Goat. Goat saying he's really enjoying the back and forth. So,
right on. Beauty.
um, so okay, so we're at 85 now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch up the style here.
Okay. I think I know kind of where you're going.
I don't know if you think I'm gonna go here though. I'm gonna go with
Uh,
Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt. Okay. No, I didn't think you were going there. I thought you were going country.
Yeah, no,
I know you. I know as much as you're not a country fan, you're going to show some respect for some of the
oh,
players out there.
for sure.
Yeah.
Bonnie, like I'm at like. Remember how I said I have some females on my list?
Yes. Yeah.
Bonnie Raitt. Everybody thinks of like that. Let's give them something to talk about when you
Yeah.
think of Bonnie Raitt, but Bonnie Raitt can play.
Yeah. She can slide too.
Yeah,
Whoa. Like
like
heavy.
she's influential,
Yeah.
right, in her space. Female guitarist that can play almost any style. Like she could cross into that. I'm not gonna say she's gonna jump on stage with Megadeth and start, or Biohazard, right? Like
She
that's not
probably could
happening.
anyway.
She probably could, but if you know if someone like a Paolo Nutini, who's like a rock type guy, poppy rock, She could go in there in a studio session and blow them away with a guitar riff.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like I don't think she's forgotten about, but I feel like everybody thinks she's like this one hit wonder that had this album come out because that song hit the mainstream so big.
Right. Actually, one of my favorite appearances with her was on Colin James's second album.
Yes.
Song called "Give It Up," and I think that it's just like it's a bop. It's poppy, it's catchy. Love her voice on it. It's got this kind of like Caribbean feel to it at parts, and like I don't know, it was a cool song. That's my childhood.
She writes amazing hooks. I don't
Absolutely.
know what it is, but and if we were doing like top 100 guitar hooks, she would be way higher than 85.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this is a good spot to show respect. I feel like we're gonna have some players coming above her, but
Cool.
yeah, I'm going Bonnie Raitt at 85.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to bring it back to the Woodstock era on this one.
Okay.
And this is tough too, because like part of me wants to rate them higher, but again, we're talking, this person has been around for a while. This band, like, their notoriety was just really the Woodstock era and a few other things. But Alvin Lee.
Alvin Lee, okay.
10 years. Yeah. 10 years after. So it's like, I remember even trying to learn some of his like phrasing, and man, that guy was fast. And there's a guy that did on an ES335.
Yeah.
Just a monster guitar player. But again, so I just think he's in the right spot there. I think he needs to be on the list.
Yeah.
I got him about here. But that's about it.
Well, and also too, when you think back to the Woodstock era, right? When you're talking that era, you don't even necessarily need to talk about like, some people on this list are going to be shredders, some of them are, but like, if you listen to Richie Havens at Woodstock, right, doing Freedom, he's playing one note.
Yeah.
And it's like that one note is like got you entrenched, so like that's the thing about the Woodstock era, right? Is that in that 60s folk rock era, right? Folk players don't need to play anything crazy to write in a great guitar hook or great guitar riff, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm going to expose this one person because I don't have them on my list, but I really struggled with not putting him on was Joni Mitchell.
Okay.
In there, once again, you're in that 60s era folk space, right? If we were doing songwriters, definitely in there, right?
Yeah.
But, Alvin Lee kind of was more than what Joni Mitchell could pull off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And Joni Mitchell was tough not to put on here, so having him at 84 makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of gonna go to someone from the 70s in number 83 and had a career that ran up until just recently. I think this is the right spot. I'm gonna go with Mark Rutherford.
Okay.
And all you have to do is listen to any Genesis record.
Yeah.
And you know who Mark Rutherford is. And the reason I wanted to make sure he had a spot on this list is because if you just say Mark Rutherford on its own, there's a lot of people out there that's going to go, who's Mark Rutherford? He sounds like a used car salesman, right? From up the road, right?
Yeah,
that's
he's
what the
my
name sounds like.
Or,
yeah, he's my accountant. He's my
does the books.
Yeah. But then you say he's with Genesis, right?
Yeah.
And just simple guitar riffs, but when you think about influence, songwriting ability, and all that, he could play some complicated stuff, or he could write a riff as simple as the I Can't Dance riff.
Yeah.
And it's, once again, it's just one of those guys that always has that hook to it, right? He can write some catchy hooks.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal guitar player. And I think he doesn't, like a lot of these people at the bottom of our list, don't get the recognition they deserve. And I feel like we're kind of paying homage to these guitar players that someone like Rolling Stone just overlooks so easily.
Yeah, they're asleep at the wheel on that one. We're here to fix it.
Yeah, like to be honest with you, I did an 8-hour stream where I ranted about their 200 guitar or their 200 singers list.
The singers one was brutal.
And
We'll get to that one.
We're gonna rebuild that.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where they I sometimes feel like they have their head up their ass.
Yeah.
And they're also doing it too because I feel like there's maybe record company pressure or industry pressure from some areas to, like in the singers one, for example, putting Mariah Carey at 5 and Freddie Mercury at 14.
Mhm.
Right? There's some industry pushback going again, like going towards them. I feel like it's the only thing I can really explain why their lists are consistently so bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna have Mark Rutherford at 83 here.
Okay.
So we're
Sounds
up
good.
to 82 now.
All right, making some progress.
You notice we don't have any of the real sexy names out there yet.
Yeah, we're holding out.
Yeah, it's making me nervous, to be honest.
Kids are gonna have to earn this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is getting tough too because like I'm back and forth on a few names here now. It's like I don't want to pick one and then regret it. But okay, where do I put them? Do I do? Oh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna go with Danny Gadden.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, monster picker. Huge influence on country musicians. I remember the Danny Gadden signature telly when I was a kid, things like that. But again,
yeah,
his impact compared to who I'm holding off on is telling enough. So I'll just keep it at that. Danny Gadden's got to be there. I think that's the right spot for him.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those ones where, like I said, we're getting names out there right now that are, probably I guarantee you there's a lot of people in the chat who are learning a lot about guitarists that they've never heard of right now.
Which is great. That's kind of half the point of this, right? Like
Yeah.
if we didn't have the influences that we had, we would have been sitting on so many things. I mean, hell, it took me. I mean, because I ended up growing up in a small town. There's certain musicians. Like I was lucky, my dad showed me who he did,
Yeah.
But then there's some stuff with like my dad certainly wasn't showing me Megadeth, maybe as heavy as Judas Priest, but not like Megadeth. I moved to Sudbury, and then now I'm learning really what Marty Friedman's about and all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're also learning too that not a lot of the, like, even though some guitarists play a certain style in their main band,
yeah,
you start, especially with the internet now, you're learning that there's so much that they can do. Like Friedman with classical is unbelievable, right?
One of my favorite drummers records a lot of the rhythm guitar tracks. The guy from it was John Becklin from Devil Driver.
Yeah.
Not only is a monster on the kit, but he's got one of the most solid rhythm hands ever. And they've even said, yeah, we let him record the rhythm tracks for it because he's just that good.
He's
now he's with Bad Wolves. I went to see Bad Wolves just because it was him.
Yeah, like there's those guys, right, that are just like that, and they're just built differently, and I've got, like, we've got Hetfield and Hammett on there that are probably will if the Metallica fans come in here, they're gonna rake us over the coals for. But really, the majority of this list so far has been pretty much the you know under the radar. But I'm going to go back to a mainstream band
Okay.
from the 70s,
hmm
and I'm gonna go with Lindsey Buckingham.
Okay. Okay.
If you don't know who Lindsey Buckingham is, you will definitely know the band, and that's Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
um, he deserves to be in here. Once again, like, we're basing this off of playing, songwriting, right? Legacy. You can't not have Lindsey Buckingham on this list.
Be honest, I was going to keep him off. Okay, but maybe that's just being a little, I don't know, me being a prick or something. I don't know. It's just some of the attitude he had. He kind of threw me off. I thought, I'd pick any of these guys over him. But no, I get it. He's got to be there. He's a big influence. I was just happy that
you were just trying to find reasons to put more 80s guitarists on your list. That's what you were doing.
I could fill it up with just 80s guitar players.
Yeah, well, you pretty much could if you wanted to.
Almost have already.
Yeah, like you could go, you could go. And you know what I'm thinking we're gonna have to do at the end of this is just take a quick look back at the list and see like if there's one person you could swap out.
Yeah, sure.
Because you and our lists are so different.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like the usual suspects as we get to the top.
Yeah,
but
I think it's going to be pretty standard. Well, I see a comment. Mick Firefrag said he didn't learn anything. Well, he won't in the top 20. It's going to be so obvious. I think maybe some of the core of it. I hope we throw a curveball to him, at least one. Mick.
Yeah, I feel like I said, my worry is, right, to me, what's gonna scare me is someone's gonna get left off here, and
that too.
I am petrified by that. Because I'm looking down my list and I'm going like, we've got 80 spots left.
Oh man.
And I'm looking at my list.
The time either.
And I'm looking at my list going like, I still got 90 some odd left.
Oh man. I'm killing off some good ones on mine.
And what's really killing me is the fact that our lists are so different at this stage.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh boy.
Okay, I wonder if you have my next one then.
Okay, let's see. Who do you have at number 80?
Eli John Roth.
John Roth.
Eli John Roth. So original Scorpions guitar player, but that dude was so, like, you want to hear prog music and like otherworldly stuff. I got into his solo stuff later on, very transcendental, very like, the guy had like 36 fret guitars, like all these like microtonal frets and everything, monster. He comes up in guitar player circles all the time. Again, early Scorpions, people will say that Schenker was the GOAT as far as Scorpions, and you know what? There's credit to that. I'll give it that. But yeah, Eli John Roth has to be on here.
Yeah. Another one I didn't have on my list.
Oh man,
you're making my life. Which this chat, by the way, this chat will love it if you make my life hell. They love seeing me in pain. Okay.
Yeah, I like seeing you squirm. Well, it's just like college again.
It is. I'm right back into college right now.
Man, feels like a whole other lifetime ago. Yeah, they're loving good.
I'm gonna do it right now. I'm putting him here because I don't want to lose this, but I have to make sure he makes the list. And I feel like if it goes any higher, I won't be able to justify putting him on the list. It's
Hey,
Rob Baker
okay.
from the Tragically Hip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I feel like if I don't put him in now, I I can't put him higher, and I want him on
Yeah.
this list.
Yeah. You sneak him in a top 50, and we're gonna call a mistrial on this. Like
Yeah,
bribes have been taken. This is BS. Let's get out of here.
yeah. Like,
But no,
eh,
he's great.
yeah, like he is, and this is one of those things because I'll play Tragically Hip songs in my stream, right?
Yeah.
And people always say to me, "Who is this?" And it's that band has always been such a they need to do a case study on the Tragically Hip
Yeah.
on how a band can be so iconic in one single country
Yeah.
to the point where they got the Order of Canada.
Yeah.
They are talking about putting Gord Downey on our money,
Yeah.
right? And you go 35 minutes over the border into or into the States, and not a soul can tell
Nope.
you who the Tragically Hip is.
No.
But
Exactly.
in Canada, if you say the Tragically Hip, more times than not, people will say they're the greatest Canadian rock band of all
Yeah.
time. But if you go to the States and ask people who's the greatest Canadian rock band of all time, they'll
I
say
say Rush.
Rush.
Yeah.
Right? See, like I have someone in my stream, who's the Tragically Hip?
Yeah.
Right? Like the Tragically Hip are so iconic that anywhere outside of Canada, but all you have to New Orleans is sinking. The guitar riff
Yeah.
is find me a no, I can't say find me a better one because you could, but
Well, it's one of those things that, again, us as young guitar players, it was simple enough to catch on to. It was catchy. Everyone knew it. Well, at least growing up in Canada, everyone knew it. But
yeah.
now looking at the list, oh my God, he should have been like in the first 10. I mean, we should not have him over Hetfield. Come on.
I didn't know you were gonna have. I thought for sure that there was gonna be people that were gonna be on both our lists. I didn't know we were gonna be on this curveball.
Higher than Vito Braddock. Come on.
The tragedy is they were so hip that nobody knew them.
Yeah, the tragedy. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna say this right now. Okay, that's gonna be the only one that I'm gonna have moving forward. But I had to get him on this list, and if we go back, if we can go back and change one, I would probably take Izzy off
Yeah.
and put him in.
Yeah.
Like
It's
and
all
put
good.
him in the 99 spot, but that's about it. Like I had to get him on. So anyway,
Okay.
that's
That's
what I'm doing.
hey. Just
I'm
call
gonna
me
win
goat.
brownie. I'm gonna win brownie
Love this.
points in Canada. That's all I'm gonna. That's all I know.
There you go. Yeah, just call me goat. So the tragedy is they were so hip, but nobody knew them.
Yep.
Wah wah.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Well, I think I'm going with Dick Dale next.
Dick Dale. I think I have him on my list.
Yeah, like surf rock, and again, pretty iconic, but that's pretty niche market too, right?
Well, yeah, he was the king of surf rock.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put him higher. May drop him down a spot or two, but
yeah,
and that's that. Loved his signature strat with the gold flake strat with the reverse headstock. I don't even have one of those. Come on.
But yeah, there's a guitar you don't have.
Yeah, there are a couple of them.
Okay, I don't know if you're gonna have this. You might actually veto this.
Okay.
My next one. And honestly, I feel like I'm holding it down for the ladies right now.
Yeah.
I'm holding it down for you ladies out there. And I can't even pronounce the name right. But we're going to go.
Oh, Orianthe.
Yes.
Oh. You know what? I wouldn't have even had her in the list.
Yeah, I've got her there.
Okay.
I'm holding it down for the ladies in this list, okay? She's
you sim.
well, no, but like the thing is that you had some new players on there.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm putting her at 77 is she's a phenomenal guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
She's new, relatively new compared to everybody else.
And here's the main reason, drum roll. I know where you're going.
And she plays a PRS and she probably has one of the nicest signature guitars in the world.
I thought you were going to drop who she was supposed to be playing with before his untimely passing. She was hired by MJ.
Was she?
She was, and she didn't get to do the tour. He had passed.
Who is the other? She was going to do something with Alice Cooper, was it?
Well, she was playing with Richie Sambora. She was dating Sambora.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I think when you're talking, I think that's the right spot because I think she's better than Bonnie Raitt. If we're looking at women guitar players,
technical level, yeah, for sure. No, she's better than Lita
Ford.
She's got to be good enough if she's got a $15,000 US PRS signature. Yeah, my God.
That if you got who the F is that? look, Frank, just look her up. I'm telling you right now.
She's not hard on the eyes either. So
she is a phenomenal guitarist, and like I said, she has probably the sexiest signature guitar in the world.
It's nice, man. It's so nice.
It has elements of just that gorgeous flame, 10 top PRS, and then you have like that Steve Vai feel going up the neck. We are talking about, how do you pronounce her name again? Orianthe,
yeah.
Orianthe. She's a female guitar player, and I just put her down at number 77. But I'm telling you, look up her guitar, look up her playing. She is phenomenal. So, yeah. That's I've got her at 77.
Right on. Well, since I put Dick Dale where I did, I'm going with Gary Hoey next. Another one on the surf scene and kind of instrumental rock. He's done a lot of stuff like Fender clinics and everything like that. Could I have ranked him lower? It's possible. He was one of those guys that I really glommed onto. Plus, he covered Dick Dale stuff. That's how I think I knew about Hoey before I knew about Dick Dale. So I was going to throw him there.
See, I have this feeling right now that we're panicking a little bit.
We're in the twilight zone now.
We are panicking a little bit here because our lists are so different.
Yeah.
And I don't think honestly, because here's the thing, everyone that's watching, we did not check each other's lists before doing this.
No.
And I think both of us probably had this feeling that our lists were going to be pretty similar. And to this point, within the first 25, because I'm going to be making the 75th pick here, our lists are pretty damn different. And I was not expecting that.
It's good, though. I like it.
Right?
Like I said, I think once we get to the top, it's going to look pretty similar. And then there's going to be a lot of debate of placement of where these people go, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's a pleasant surprise to see kind of where we're differing on things here with they're not no names by any means, but
Well, that's it, right? They're they're not no names, but I and what I'm liking about it is we have a list right now that if I swear to God, if we pulled up Rolling Stone, none of these players are on there,
no.
right? Um, so okay, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit here.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna go with T-Bone Walker.
Okay. Right on. Yeah,
Um,
that makes sense.
you know, legendary in blues. Um, you basically can look at an interview that BB King has done or Eric Clapton, any blues based legend
Yeah.
will credit T-Bone Walker, right? And his playing and you know, you know, he was also a pioneer going through and becoming in my opinion, when in the music world, a household name through some really tough times as an African American in the
Mm,
United States.
yeah.
So, um, I could only imagine how well known he would be today, right? Because he a lot of his life he didn't wasn't really given a platform, and
Mhm.
and you found him, when he was like 60 years old,
Yeah.
and people started experiencing his playing, and I feel like he's got to be on there. So I'm gonna go
But
T-Bone Walker at 75.
yeah, it's almost like the lore of Robert Johnson, right? Kind of
Yeah,
falls in very, very similar to it.
yeah, and there's other players that are probably going to be in that same category as him
Mhm.
down the line, but he was one of the pioneers. And if you don't have him, you might not have a BB King.
Yeah,
That's something you have to show recognition for. So
100%. Yeah, right on.
we
I'm
got
going to go
75 left. So
bear speed us up. Paul Kossoff from Free.
from
Plus
free,
this, yeah,
how the hell do I spell that?
Paul Kossoff, Kossoff.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, like again, the riff to All Right Now. I still test guitars and amps with that riff all the time. It's one of the
Yeah.
first things I hit. There's some of that open kind of chording, beautiful. If it rings right, I'm like, okay, this is a good guitar. This is a good amp.
Yeah, and he died well before his time too.
Yeah, yeah. So again, he didn't get that longevity, but he did make a big impact on music.
Yeah. Yeah, like what was he? Like mid-20s when he died,
I think
right?
so. Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. 2025. I just looked
So
it up.
yeah, so he definitely deserves a spot on that list.
100%.
Um I'm going to put him out there now
Okay.
cuz I don't want to lose this. I'm going Brad Whitford from
Okay.
Aerosmith.
It's funny. You said I don't want to lose this, and I was going to be like, and I don't want to lose a thing.
Yes,
I should have just dropped it, but no, I
you
don't. I
should
don't.
have.
Also, don't want to coax you on. Like,
Yeah. No, Brad Whitford, for those of you who are learning here along with us, Brad Whitford is the rhythm guitar player for Aerosmith. The only reason I don't put him ahead of Joe Perry is because Joe Perry is the lead player. Although Brad Whitford could be the lead player.
Brad's better.
Brad's better than Joe
But
Perry.
Joe had the image. He was the look, the ferocity, that like unhinged, just rock
Brad
and roll.
Yeah, Brad Whitford's not going to sell you Les Pauls. Joe Perry is,
Yeah, that's right.
right? And he just, so Brad Whitford has to be on this list There's no question about it. I feel like 73 is a good spot for him.
Cool.
So, and once again, we have continued the trend. I think on our entire list so far, 2 or 3 have been on Rolling Stone's list.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. So
I
maybe 4.
can't remember their list offhand, but the next one I'm going to pick may have been on there. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's funny
Okay.
for me, but I'm going to put it on there anyway. Is Neil Young.
Okay.
Um, that's another one whom we talked about one note solos. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when I was ready to learn a solo, I asked my dad, "Hey, Dad, can you teach me a solo?" He's like, "Well, here's a Neil Young thing. You're on the B string on the 5th fret, and you're dan 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 whatever, right? You know."
Yeah.
But that was it, and but you can't deny like the stuff he did with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, everything like that. Cinnamon Girl. He was, I mean, kind of a pioneer of grunge too, if you think of it. And I'm sure
Yeah.
grunge bands would attest to that. Like raunchy Les Paul tone, sound like it was going through broken ass speakers at like volume 11 on a Marshall amp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which did exist on some Marshalls. So.
Yeah. Like technically, do you have Tom Petty without Neil Young? their song, if
And
you look at their song structures and how simplistic everything
yeah.
is,
Well,
you
it's funny
know,
too. My grandpa gained to meet him and all that, and he did a little jam with him. It was when the hearse broke down, so that was "Long May You Run Back in Blind River," and just
yeah.
quick little story on that. But yeah, so my grandpa ends up fixing his the vehicle, and I asked my grandpa, I'm like, "So, Papa, what was it like meeting Neil Young?" He's like, "Well, not much of a guitar player, nice guy though." And I'm like, that was so cool. But
That is awesome.
they stayed there for about I think it was just shy of a week, and my grandma fed them, and the Vezos that lived that actually owned the garage before my grandpa did, they fed them and housed them and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
but again, it's a huge influence, and it might be weighing a little bit more on the Canadian culture still, right?
Yeah.
There's another one of those things, but Neil Young did translate to the American market too, right? Especially with
Yeah.
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Yeah. Well, and just the fact that he could break away from Crosby, Stills, and Nash and still have a viable
Yeah,
career
yeah,
does
yeah,
speak a lot to Neil Young.
absolutely.
Um, I'm going so I don't know if you think this person belongs on the list. Um, I feel like he was when everything was going on in the 90s, he was kind of unique.
Okay.
And I'm going Peter Buck from REM.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Um, because you had take a look at the landscape. You had grunge going
Yeah,
on. You had the remnants of hair metal, right? When REM was out, you had kind of like the new age with like Guns N' Roses, Metallica,
yeah,
right? Then you had Tom Morello and all them come on the scene,
yeah,
right? You have Peter Buck sitting over here, you know, kind of doing a bit of everything, right?
yeah, and surviving all the changes, which I guess would be a big testament to it.
Yeah, and you can just go down REM's catalog, and his guitar playing stands out.
Yeah.
And REM was one of those bands, and I think Peter Buck is a big reason for it, that you could not put them into any one category.
Hmm. Okay.
So
Interesting.
I feel like he should be on there.
Yeah.
Um, and he's a unique player, so I'm gonna put him at 71.
Alrighty.
Did you have him on your list?
Not at all.
I thought our list was gonna be so similar.
Jeez.
Uh, okay, so it's 70.
Okay. I'm gonna put Kenny Wayne Shepherd. And I
Kenny
debated this
Wayne.
again, knowing the depth of my list.
Yeah.
That's why I'm putting him down here. Huge influence on me. I mean, the guy got to jam with Stevie Ray. Like, come on.
Yeah.
He did battle his demons. He's made a comeback. Fantastic player, just deadly.
Blue on Black
Um,
is amazing.
yeah, even before that, like when Ledbetter Heights came out, I was just blown away.
Yeah.
You know, and you, as a young guitar player, that's what I wanted. I'm like, I could play like this. Similarly, maybe not because I mean the guy definitely had the blues thing down pat. I was doing more like Zakk Wylde stuff at the time, but
yeah,
as far as like technicality, a little like it was at that level but different. But like then the guy could also sound like Stevie Ray. I mean the guy's got that rich Fender sound. Like you guys already using Vibro Kings, and he's touring with Stevie Ray's old band members and things like that. Like, whoa, okay, this is some serious business.
Yeah. I Kenny Wayne Shepherd always had that groove, and he always kind of I think he was also though, because I remember people talking like he was going to be the next Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
And it's no different than what's his name, who was the singer of Silverchair.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They put this unrealistic label on him.
Yeah.
Right? Just like they did
Daniel Johns.
Daniel Johns. Yeah. And they were like, he's the next Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
Right? And then you look at Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and they did the same with him. He's going to be the next Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I feel like he kind of crumbled. He's amazing, but his career crumbled under the pressure of
no doubt
having to be that. And just like look at Silverchair. I thought Silverchair was going to be the next big band when they came out.
Yeah.
And they just crumbled because they got this label that they were going to be the next Nirvana.
Yeah. And not to go off topic too much, but I just watched an interview where he talked about that. And then the jealousy of his bandmates that came of it because there's so much attention put on him. Yeah. They treat him like he was the next coming of Kurt Cobain.
Well, and they were 14.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, to say that childish behavior happened while they were children, right? So, and I feel like that's what happened to Kenny Wayne. He had all the opportunity in front of him, and they threw that label. Mainly because if you do listen to Blue on Black, which is his biggest hit, right?
Yeah.
You can hear every element of a Stevie Ray Vaughan song in that.
Of course.
Right? So he's clearly influenced by him, but the fact that they put that on him, I think that held him back quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that's maybe why he had some of his demons too.
Oh, I'm sure.
That led to it. Okay. I feel like I was gonna put him higher, this guy.
Okay.
But I have so many people on this list I want to get on here. So we're gonna stick with the Canadian thing here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Rick Emmett.
Nice.
Triumph.
Yeah.
What can you say?
Yeah.
And he influenced. If you're a guitar player in the 80s or you're a guitar player in the 90s, you have a Rick Emmett influence.
Yeah.
In your playing. You just do.
I had him on my list too. I think that's probably around where I would put him as well.
And not only on the electric, but he could play acoustic like you see there's a lot of electric guitar players that get on an acoustic and it's like that slide sound everywhere.
Yeah.
He could just play.
Yeah, agreed.
Right. So I feel like having him this is probably about the right spot you want to put Rick Emmett. So
yeah.
I think
that kind of, so now I'm starting to kind of form a different idea of where I'm going to put this guy. So I'm going to drop this guy here.
Okay.
Because undeniable what influence he had on rock and roll in general, and the slew of young guitarists that lived up to him, and it's Ace Frehley. There's debate on his technicality.
Yeah.
There's been a long time conversation of what he did and didn't play on record. A lot of it is bogus claims. A lot of people are saying, "Oh yeah, Rick Derringer did the solos for this and the other thing," which is
Yeah.
BS for the most part. It's been debunked, but yeah, I'm going to put Ace Frehley here just because again, it's the influence.
Yeah, and this is going to probably come across as sacrilege, but I can't stand Kiss.
Yeah, and I love them. But I don't love them for Ace Frehley, but we didn't grow up in that era either, right? But we're well aware of what influence they had. I mean, I still see guys on the Gibson forum, and it's like they've got their 3 pickup Sunburst Les Paul, or they got the actual Ace Frehley one, and I mean, those are a pretty penny, and obviously the guy had impact on people's lives.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm not denying their impact or anything like that. I think what formed my opinion to Kiss was when they gave Gene Simmons a TV show.
I think that changed a lot of people's mind on.
And I just could not. I didn't like Kiss before then, but then I was just so once again. I know it's sacrilege, but I didn't even have them on my list.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know what I mean?
Well, and it sucks to see something like that show because, like, there's something good about smoke and mirrors. It's like when I worked in radio. You don't want to know what's going on in the background. 1, it's not fun.
No.
2, the infighting, this person's sleeping with that one, this one hates that one now. This one destroyed the washroom and everyone hates that person now. No, you just want to put out a product and you want to, put it in a nice tiny bow and present it, so like having to see them like that. It's the same thing as, and again, off topic, but like when I saw Some Kind of Monster, Metallica, I did not want to see that side of them. It was almost comical. We finish a gig or a tour, and we're sitting there watching us drinking, and we're like, man, we're glad we're not like this. Meanwhile, what do you think happened to my band? Yeah. Same shit, different file, right? But like, you don't need to see that shit.
That's why I was always kind of happy they never brought out like a Guns N' Roses one.
Yeah.
Because could you imagine had they brought that out in the 90s after Illusions?
It's bad enough the bootlegs that came out where you saw some of their bad side of performing. I was not happy about that.
Well, yeah, but like through history, right? Like looking back, how much turmoil was happening.
Yeah.
Right? It would have made Some Kind of Monster look like a picnic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, guaranteed.
The stuff that was going on backstage there.
Yeah.
So you're right. It does honestly, I think the Police did it the right way. They never really broke up. They just stopped producing music.
And Sting and Stuart Copeland hate each other. They get like scrapped so bad, like they break each other's ribs. Yeah. But they didn't publicize it. They didn't say, okay, let's have a behind the scenes, and you can see how damaged we are.
Yeah, like they just kind of were like, yeah, we're just not making music anymore. And then 20 years later, they're like, come back tour. And you're like, what? Yeah. The Police are coming back?
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
100%.
So, yeah, I think that does hamper it.
Yeah.
I know there's going to be people that don't make my list here, and this is going to be... I'm just looking through who, and I feel like this is a good one. I'm going The Edge.
Okay.
Obviously U2, iconic band.
Yeah.
And he's kind of in that Peter Buck territory, right?
Yeah.
Where
I think even more so better.
Definitely better, but where I'm going with it is he's in that category that finds someone else that can do what he does that fits so well within his band.
Yeah.
Right. And then what that says to me is just like Peter Buck with REM, if you don't have the edge in U2 is not a global superstar mega band.
Definitely, like his playing and it's what he does with the effects that's so rhythmic.
Yeah.
which becomes infectious, right? Like, like look at you can buy a guitar pedal for any guitar players listening to this, which I'm sure there's quite a bit because like this about guitar players.
Yeah.
You can buy yourself any type of effects unit, and you're going to have like something called streets, no name, delay,
Yeah.
things like that. Like that to be that important from an effects and music standpoint is everything, man.
And,
Like holy shit.
and like we said with Peter Buck too, he like it didn't matter what the environment around him was changing.
Yeah.
He was him.
Yeah.
And you can't like there are certain bands, right? And I think we can all agree with it, where the guitarist leaves and they can replace him.
Sure.
I don't think you can do that with the Edge.
No, it would just feel weird. As
It
much as he's not the leader, he feels like he is. Like to me, he feels like he is driving that band. Technically, the leader of the band's the drummer.
Yeah.
And that's his band.
Yeah.
Which
Like
pretty
Bono
interesting.
gets all the spotlight.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like Edge is like the glue that keeps it all together. But if the Edge ever left, I just, like look at how many guitar players have the Chili Peppers gone through.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like they have a new guitar player almost every other album, right?
Yeah.
And you can do that, right? And this is, not taking anything away from, from them, but there's really only one true guitar player for the Chili Peppers.
Yeah, Frusciante.
Frusciante. But if you take the Edge out of U2, I just don't see where that band goes.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to have them there at 67. So you're at number 66.
I wonder if you would have put this one higher. I'm finally going to represent the female demographic.
Okay.
Jennifer Baden. Again, one that was good enough to play with Michael Jackson, good enough to play with Jeff Beck, monster guitar player. I think what takes away from it is, again, like, did she have that commercial appeal, that notoriety? As far as guitar prowess, unbelievable. Yeah. I would not want to cut heads with that woman. She's stupid good.
I think one of the knocks on her is Michael Jackson used to bring in so many iconic guitar players.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she doesn't get the recognition she should, because a lot of people saw her as just a touring musician.
A hired gun, yeah. Right. And it sucks too, because that should be an opportunity for them to branch off and get some notoriety while they're with that artist, but then be able to form their own legacy afterwards. Alice Cooper kind of does that with his guitar players. It's kind of like a stepping stone for them, and they go on and usually do some bigger things, bigger or different, or at least have their own identity. And I don't find she really had that after that.
I just think it's the thing about Michael Jackson was he was such a massive star.
Yeah.
That everybody knew that Eddie Van Halen played the Beat It guitar riff.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody knew that Slash played on Black and White.
Yeah.
And Give In To Me, right?
Yeah.
And when he would do live shows, he would have them join him a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jennifer Batten is a badass guitarist to be able to do what she does. You have to be for Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah.
But I think what some of the detraction from her is she was seen as a touring guitarist playing something someone else wrote.
Yeah.
And that's that if you don't have that knock on her, she's probably higher.
Yeah, and the other thing too is they can decide, if you're going to be a solo guitarist, that was a tough go for one. But if you're going to do it, you better really be able to let your guitar speak like it's a vocal. You look at guys like when I went to see Satriani last time,
Yeah.
There are no vocals being sung, but it might as well be. It is so thought out. It's so melodic. And you heard people say that as we're walking out. It's like, it doesn't matter. There's no vocals. It's so catchy and just puts you in a different kind of mindset and mood and everything. It's something very beautiful. But there's other guys that, they do their solo guitar albums, and it's, how many notes can we fit in?
Yeah.
As where, you can have other bands that, play 3 chords, and we'll have some guitar players we're going to mention at our top that they were, very simple bands, but what they bring to the big stage, what they bring to like global influence, and just you can sing all their stuff, like their riffs and everything. So
yeah, definitely. I have a feeling I might get a veto here, but we're gonna see.
All right.
At 65, I'm gonna put Derek Trucks.
Well, I would have put him higher, but let me think. Do I use my first veto?
And let me explain why.
Yeah.
I am looking at my top 43 guitar players, and I would put every single one of them in front of Derek Trucks.
He's sweating now, people.
But
I get to pick too, so woo.
Yeah. But here's the thing, right? Is that if I could show you who I have left on my list right now, you would look at that and go, I kind of get why you did it.
Yeah.
Now, this is like, to me, he's like obviously Allman Brothers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I believe he wrote Jessica.
No, Derek didn't write any of the big stuff.
No, he didn't? Okay.
No, so Derek Trucks is the slide player that, like, he's the only slide player I've ever heard sound like Duane Allman.
Yeah.
Like, incredible.
But see, I have someone else that can play slide on my list, I think, better than Derek Trucks.
Unless it's Duane Allman, there's really no one. I will argue that one tooth and nail. I don't think I know who you're thinking of too. And
do you know who I think of?
Yeah. Did you hang out with him before?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, interesting. No,
I think when I say his name, because his name is coming.
Okay.
I will circle back and say this is the person I think who can play slide better than Derek Trucks.
Okay. But you know what though? I'm calling in my veto. I'm not letting you have Derek Trucks there. And also one of the last videos I saw, I saw it before and then I rewatched it, was him doing a solo and BB King stopping in his tracks and just like, wow. I'm like, to get that kind of accolade, I was like, yeah, so pick another one.
Okay, I'll pick another one, but you have to put him somewhere. And you have 2 vetoes left.
He'll be somewhere.
God damn it, I don't know who to put here then. Because if I say another one, you're probably going to veto it again. Maybe that's my strat.
I hope our audience liked this one. I took some joy in this one.
Maybe I should. That's my strat. If I get him to use his 3 vetoes right away.
Yeah, my lifelines.
Then he's screwed when we get to the higher ones.
Yes.
You know what? Because we talked about him, and this guy is phenomenal. If you ever want to listen to him play guitar, unbelievable guitarist, but he doesn't fit in with the notoriety. He never had any big hits, but he influenced many people that did. And we talked about him before stream. I'm going Alan Holdsworth.
Okay.
At 65.
Yeah, I'm not vetoing that. Come on.
No, I had another one I was going to say, and I knew if I said it, you were going to veto it instantly.
I thought you were going with another Canadian. I'm sure you have some more on your list.
I
and
have
I'm coming
3
close to.
more Canadians on my list.
Okay.
But I had to go with Holdsworth, arguably the greatest guitarist of the 90s.
I thought you would have put him higher, to be honest.
I would, but here's, like, I'm telling you, man, I am looking at my list right now. I will go over who I had to leave off.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking at my list and I'm going like, like my top 15 is almost like I have it locked in. Top 20
Yeah.
I have locked in, and I'm not even going to get to them. So yeah.
Okay, don't tell me. We'll continue on. We'll see where this leads us.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm
you're
gonna
the
put.
one that has to put trucks somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's easy for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but my next one, I'm going with Kim Mitchell.
I almost put Kim Mitchell on my list.
And you didn't?
And I didn't.
Man. Okay. But okay, refresh my memory. If you veto it, I still get to pick him just later and you can't veto him after. Is that the deal?
No, if I veto it, I have to put him on the list somewhere.
You have to put him on the list somewhere. Oh, so okay. All right.
So I'm not vetoing Kim Mitchell.
No, yeah. I wouldn't waste it on that.
I love Kim Mitchell. I think you've got him pretty
In
high
hindsight, yeah, you know what? I should have probably again, those who haven't heard Kim really play, other than
Max Webster, you have to listen to that.
The guy can play like Steve Vai. It is very like unknown that he could play like this. You listen to stuff like Dog in a Bone. You listen to stuff like again, the Max Webster stuff.
If you're listening to Patio Lanterns and judging this pick, do not do it.
yeah, totally wrong impression. Because he did well. I actually just got to see him again. Last week, week before, last week. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're listening to Patio Lanterns or America or anything like that, no, like I'm gonna put another Canadian on the list above him, and it's probably even too low. But like I said, I'm looking at my list going like, I'm in trouble. I need to get some of these guys.
Hit me. Let's go.
Number 63 is going to be Frank Marino.
Okay.
Frank Marino, for those of you who don't know who that is, because we are going deep into the we're going deep in the vaults on some of these names.
Yeah.
A lot of people called him the next Jimi Hendrix, the Canadian Jimi Hendrix. Never had the commercial success of Jimi Hendrix.
No.
But if you listen to Mahogany Rush, if you just look that up on YouTube, the guy is unreal on guitar.
Yeah. I think he was one of Paul Gilbert's big influences too.
Yeah.
Which that speaks volumes.
Yeah. And, he doesn't necessarily get the credit he deserves, but Frank Marino is a beast on guitar.
Yeah.
And, like I said, because he's not because he's Canadian, but there's a lot of amazing guitar players like Frank Marino that don't get the exposure they should because he does live in Canada and that. But just listen to Mahogany Rush and you'll be like, why have I never listened to this before? Yeah. He's that good.
I think he adding up, but still kind of underrated for sure.
He's totally underrated. I feel like I would probably put him higher, but I feel like this is a good spot for him because he deserves to be on a top 100 list.
Yeah.
Right. And if we don't do it, no one's going to. So
fair. All right. Well, I see you're Frank and I raise you a Frank. Frank Gambale, the scariest jazz fusion sweep picking guitarist you could ever hope to even know like 1/100th of what he does on a fretboard.
What's his name? Sorry?
Frank Gambale. So that's for the real like diehard guitar player. Like that is Shred City. He used to have some signature Ibanez's back in the day. I'm sure he still has. Monster. I mean, this is another guy that, you know, Jason Becker and Marty Friedman would have learned off of.
Yeah.
From like, you know, not tablature, but actual sheet music, stuff like that. And his fluidity on the fretboard was just disgusting.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing? No one can accuse us of building a list for YouTube or Twitch hype, because I guarantee you, if people are looking at this list that are scrolling by right now, I guarantee you that there is nobody, and I mean nobody right now, that could even figure out who these people are.
Right. Yeah, there's no paywall involved with some of these guys, let's put it that way.
Yeah, you can pretty much say that we are not getting any type of payout for some of these names. I do feel like I do need to speed up the ticker at the bottom a little bit at this point. So just bear with me 1 second, because it's going at a decent pace, but I feel like it should probably go a little quicker than what it's going.
We talk a lot.
Well, and it's I guess got to figure out how to do it. But because I feel like it may have stopped.
Oh, you're talking our list.
Our list down below. It may have stopped at 74. I just got to keep an eye on it. But so we're at number 61 here.
Right.
God damn it. This is tough.
This game really tough. I'm looking at my list too. This is tough.
Yeah. You can see why I tried to get Derek Trucks on the list already.
Yeah. I'm still rating that boy high. Ish.
Ooh, boy. I am going to go with... Let's see what you think of this. But he's got to be on the list. Bo Diddley.
Okay.
Coming in at number 61.
All right. I wasn't even going to put him on.
I feel like he's got to be on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know he's a huge for Billy Gibbons. I know that's one of his big ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the ticker did stop at 74, and I'm wondering if it's just based on size of font. Let me make this smaller and see if this fixes anything.
Okay.
Give me a second. But yeah, I think Bo Diddley has to be on there. The guy could play a cigarette box.
Yeah.
And make it sound good. So,
that's fair.
So yeah, Bo Diddley, I think 61's a good number for him. He's iconic. He's influential on so many levels.
Yeah.
And I just feel like he's a good fit right there.
Okay, I'm going to fit this one in before, because my list is getting a little scary too. So James Burden, another country phenom.
James Burden. Okay.
Yeah. And I still to this day love his Paisley Telecaster with the 3 lace sensors and.
Now, are you picking him because of the guitar?
Okay.
I know because of.
I know he's one of the biggest influences on some of the other country guys that I really love.
Okay.
One of which will be on this list, and I should probably name that guy pretty soon too. Otherwise, I'm gaining a tight spot.
Yeah, because I'm in this real tight spot myself right now.
Yeah.
I'm in a really bad spot right now. Because I honestly don't even think a Beatle is going to make the list now.
Well, I didn't have any. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. Oh,
I don't even,
okay.
so I'm like,
you might want to throw one out right now. Just one.
Well, one's for sure making it. I can
Yeah,
say that.
Yeah.
One is for sure gonna make it. You know what? I'm gonna take him off my list because I don't know why he was even on my list in the first place. I'm gonna go heavy.
Yeah.
Like real heavy. Like heavy.
Okay.
Like Zakk Wylde bows down to this heavy.
What?
Yes.
Zakk bows down to no one.
He does to this man.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see.
Dimebag Darrell.
I would have put him higher.
Nope.
I'm vetoing you. Dimebag's going up. Yeah, and he is the only one that Zakk bows to. Dime's going up. You get your shit in order.
I don't know.
Oh.
Like
there are any Pantera fans listening, I'm carrying the flag for us. Don't worry. I'm putting Dime up higher. I got you.
But I have a list of people. I don't even see him going above that.
Well. Life's not fair.
Oh my god.
So I gotta make a note because I already still have to get Derek up higher. I'm gonna put my vetoes. So
you have one veto left.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Whoop whoop.
Because here's the thing, we only have 40 spots left.
Yeah.
And
what if we end up with a really bad list like Rolling Stone, and this is how it happened, and we had no idea what we were getting into? No, our list is still better.
No,
Come on.
Ours is still better.
All right.
Most people care about the top 10 anyway, so this part, but I actually care about the entire 100.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what do I do? Because you took Dimebag from me, I'm gonna put him here, and you're not gonna like this either, but Tom Morello is going in at 59.
Okay. I get it. You know what's funny? I didn't have him on a list.
Innovative wise.
Yeah. No, right? I totally get it. Yeah.
And I'm legitimately looking at my list going, I'm looking at this list right now, I had 20 selections left.
Yeah.
And
yeah, there's a couple I'm taking off now.
And I'm looking at 50 names. And that's why I said Dimebag originally.
Yeah.
But the only one I could see is, and I think, you know what we might get to, Matt, is we may just have to do a quick little debate on the top 20, because we're at that point. Some. We're at that point because I don't think we're going to get any of these guys in.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tom Morello 59 for me, and that
we do top 125 and we trim the bottom 25.
Yeah, exactly.
You're boarded off the island.
Yeah, because I just don't know where we go.
I know. It's getting freaky. We'll keep moving on.
Yeah. So number 58.
That's you picking, or
No, that's you.
didn't I
I just
veto
went.
you? And
Yeah, I just went Tom Morello.
oh
So
yeah, oh wow. Think you need more caffeine. Ooh, okay. Looking at this list here, it's getting Glenn Tipton.
who?
Glenn Tipton, Judas Priest.
Oh,
Yeah.
I I didn't have him on my list either.
Well, it sucks too. I kind of want to cheat and say it's basically Glenn Tipton and KK as one, but I can't do that. So I'm going to have to pick Glenn.
We are seriously up shit's creek right now without
Yep.
a paddle at
Yep.
this stage. And we're like we're doing something that other like ones don't do is we're actually doing this live. So there's no like changing anything behind the scenes here.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I gotta go this. I think this is where I have to go
Okay.
at 57. I think it's low, but I just we're going Richie Blackmore. At,
Oh, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to agree with you because I know where this is going. Because otherwise, I would have him higher too. But no, let's
I here
lock
like
it
I
in,
said,
man.
I'm looking at this like I I don't know if he's on yours list.
Well, he was.
And I like honestly, I'm like I said, I'm looking at this list going like I've already knocked some people off,
Yeah.
right? And I'm looking going like we have very few spots.
Yeah. But you know what? Once we get to the top 20, there are going to be a lot of similarities too.
There are, but even two then, that means we've only got 12 picks each.
Yeah.
And like I'm looking at some heavy hitters.
Yeah. So am I.
Like I'm talking heavy hitters. Like for like I think we can pretty much agree who the top 10 are, like we
Yeah.
already know what that like that's but like no way I'm just going to say the name. No way Jimmy Page is not making this list. Like he's on the
Yeah.
list,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? But it's those old school guys that I'm looking at and I'm going like they have to be on here.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and I'm worried that we're gonna not get some of these old school guys on here.
Nah, we let's try. Okay, let's keep it moving because
Yeah.
yeah, we're ticking too. Muddy Waters. I'm gonna have to get him on there now.
Oh, thank God I have him on my list, and he was one of the
Yeah,
ones I was struggling with.
yeah. I'm like no, like he's as far as blues guys, that would be one
Yeah.
of my top guys. But he's got to be on there.
Okay, and you know what? I'm just gonna do a quick turnaround for you,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna get another guy that we have to get on this
Yeah,
list,
yeah, maybe.
and that's John Lee Hooker.
Okay. Oh, see, I wasn't even putting him on.
I have to put John Lee Hooker on.
Shit, man. Okay, it's getting tight. Okay.
I had
No.
I have to have him on there.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fair.
So
Okay. Malcolm Young. Gotta get him on there.
I didn't even have him on my
Come
list.
on. No. Oh shit. Then that begs the question about Angus. Some people would say yes, some people would say no, but like Malcolm was so like tight rhythm and a writer and like so revered. Oh, this game's scary again. Okay.
It's really scary right now because I honestly thought because you and I go back 20 years,
Yeah.
that we would have a fairly similar list here. And
It's like I don't even know you anymore.
it's right. It's true. And now I'm getting into this panic mode where I'm putting guys on the list and they might be too low. And
No.
and
Trust your gut.
Well, they might be too low, and I'm sitting here going like, I don't want to be insulting them.
Yeah.
By putting them too low, but then at the same time, I don't want them to not make the list either, right?
I know.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Is this the right choice?
Mm.
Curtis Mayfield.
Wasn't even going to pick him. Shit. I get it. I wasn't going to pick him. Okay.
Once again, he's just super, super influential to so many guitars. And
I know.
the guy could play, he could write.
Well, he's one of the bigger influences to a guy that I'm holding off on. And maybe I should put him now.
Like, you look at Curtis Mayfield, he's got. Yeah, you have to have Curtis Mayfield on
Okay.
here.
Then you have to have Al Di Meola right after it.
You're going to have to spell that for me.
Yeah, it's been a while since hang on, let's Google this. Al Di Meola. So Al, obviously, and then it's DI space MEOLA. Monster like jazz fusion.
Yeah, I didn't even have him on mine.
Guy influenced Steve Vai. Like
yeah, see, for me on the jazz fusion side, and now I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just gonna say his name because I don't know if I'm even gonna put him on anymore. Was Greg Howe.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna put him on.
And that was my jazz fusion guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh boy.
Jesus Christ. You know, remember how I said I was surprised Rishi Sambora didn't make the list?
Yeah.
I'm starting to see why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm sitting here thinking I have to put a Rolling Stone on right now.
Right. Yeah. I'm at the point where I had Sambora and I'm looking to cut too.
I'm looking at Ronnie Wood.
Oh man. Okay. Oh fuck.
The only reason I'm putting him at 51 is because I'm going to take that back. I'm going to retract that. Can I retract it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going with another favorite of mine. Jerry Garcia at 51.
Okay. All right.
I can't sit there and put Jerry Garcia ahead of Ronnie Wood. I can't.
Right.
And you know, the Grateful Dead. He was the Grateful Dead sound, in
my
opinion. Right?
Ooh, it's tough.
So,
okay.
Jerry Garcia. Now we're to the top 50.
Yeah.
You're kicking us off into the top 50.
Well, I'm going with one of the best Strat players ever, and you wouldn't have thought of him, I don't think. Maybe. We'll see. Rory Gallagher.
I have Rory Gallagher.
Okay, thank God.
I do have.
Just sometimes people forget about him, but what a monster.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, we're only in the top 50, Fred, because you're lucky we're doing this format, because we would have been here till midnight if we were to do a debate format.
Or a couple of cackling hens here.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to tell you one person that's not going to make this list now.
Okay.
Cat Stevens.
Yeah, no.
I had him on my list. I'm like, I feel like because we talked about him earlier, he's got to go on, and he's definitely top 50 to me. Is Dave Mustaine.
Yeah.
I was kind of holding him till the top 50, but Dave Mustaine left Metallica and started Megadeth, and is there's this is going to be one of those few bands that people may not realize there's going to be two guitarists from that band on this list.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it took the other guy to basically make Dave Mustaine not a lead guitar player in that band.
Yeah.
So
Dave's rhythm work's amazing. His songwriting, I mean, his voice is a matter of taste. Yeah, McFirefrag, I feel we might have chatted too long, and now I'm doing it again. Okay, hang on, I'm just going to move on. Fuck it.
No. We need to have the conversation. We got 45 minutes. If we run long, we run long.
Oh man. No, just that. I mean, Metallica was still using some of Mustaine's riffs.
Yeah.
I mean, the Four Horsemen was his, and a bunch of other stuff we probably don't even know.
On Ride the Lightning, wasn't it?
I think it was Justice.
Or was it Justice?
Yeah. Okay, let me go with. I got to get him in here. Jeff Healy.
That's who I was saying is a better fucking slide player.
Yeah, I wouldn't get him. I mean, the guy's amazing, though.
Oh, Jeff.
And did it blind.
You know what? No, I'm not letting you put Jeff Healy here.
Well, the veto happens. Let's go. Okay.
I can't let you do that to him.
Okay.
I have him higher on my list.
Okay. I'm gonna put let's see, going on my list again. Ronnie Montrose. You didn't have him, did you? No, you did not. Man, that guy. It's just too bad he dealt with a lot of mental health issues that really kept him from progressing. But like, you listen to those couple first Montrose albums, they're insane.
Yeah, I don't have him. Oh, God damn it. I want to put someone on, but I know the minute I even utter his name, you're going to veto it.
Oh, yeah? Think?
Oh, I know.
Oh, do not.
I know.
If I...
He doesn't have 3 initials, don't worry.
No, I was thinking someone else. What you thinking there?
I'm thinking I'm going to make you use that veto.
Oh. Oh, did you just freeze? No. Okay.
No. I'm frozen in fear if I take him.
He better not be left-handed.
Screw it. I'm going to say it. John Petrucci.
Oh, okay. You know what? I was coming close to pointing him around here. I can live with that just because of some of the big names I have on here. So,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. I Dream Theater. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't even think Rolling Stone had him, so I'm good.
Really? Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So, okay.
Now, I think I'll have to take that guy off too. Okay, let's throw in Steve Lukather.
I didn't have him either. Steve, who did you say?
Lukather. Toto. Who also played bass on Beat It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, Toto
I had
was
to Google how to spell his last name because I didn't want to mess it up.
I mean, Toto was a super group of musicians, right? A bunch of hired guns that wrote and performed together.
I never thought we would have Toto in the top 46.
Well, you say that, and I just watched Arthur Anthony's name pass by, and come on, give her the old heave ho now.
I put her at what, 77? I didn't put her at 40 fucking 6.
You should have been on. Come on.
You're regretting those like really high up ones, I bet, right now. Like those newcomers.
No. I stand by Tim Henson for sure.
Okay. I'm going to premise this with something.
Okay.
He is phenomenal on the guitar. Trend setting on the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Not much of a songwriter.
Oh.
But could blow anybody out of any arena. Played a Strat.
Yeah.
And it is Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just
At
because,
number
again, I know where
45.
we're trending. Yeah, I would have had him higher, but I get it now. But you can't. Ingve's insane. I also love his whole like less is not more, more is more. Like that dude
Yeah.
was like guitar prowess, like
Yeah.
light things up.
I have him at 44 because the list, right? Like we're getting to the top 40 here.
Yeah.
And there's so many other players I would put ahead of him.
For sure. Well, just to keep things going, I'm going to throw in Glenn Campbell now.
Okay, so that's someone we both have.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glenn Campbell definitely needs to be on this list.
Phenomenal guitar player, phenomenal singer. No.
Yeah, he was kind of like
Enough
the
said.
whole package there.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is the right spot for her. I think this is the right spot. We're gonna go Mary Ford.
When he? Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't even going to have her.
Mary Ford is like Les Paul and Mary Ford. Like, come on.
Yeah. Trust me, I had one part of the equation.
When you can turn around and sell a person's guitar for $250,000 because they played it.
Yeah.
You're in the top 100. That alone does it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of her.
And when you talk about women in terms of guitar playing, right?
Yeah.
She was doing this in a time where it was a male dominated field.
Yeah.
Women were supposed to stay home and look after the house. Meanwhile, her and Les Paul are out there fucking touring and ripping it up. So,
yeah,
Mary Ford has to be in the top 50 for me.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Tom Scholz next from Boston. And it's not just what he brought to songwriting, but he was a creator. Like he made his own amps. That stuff went on to be the sound of Joe Satriani, Def Leppard, like his Rockman soloist unit. You know, I just ended up picking up one at a store not that long ago. I was like, he's like, you know what that is? I'm like, do I know what it is? I'm like, yeah, like I'm taking it. Like it's mine.
Yeah. I didn't have him. He was one of the ones that I was like, okay, I might take him off. So
yeah, in hindsight, again, now I'm seeing things I probably would have put him a little bit lower, but we can't go back. So let's keep her moving.
yeah. Is this the right spot for him? I think it is. At number 1, number 1. At number 41, I'm gonna put Joe Walsh from the Eagles.
Okay.
Right?
Was it
obviously iconic guitar riffs, iconic band.
Yeah. James Gang was badass.
He was an interesting interview.
Yeah. Yeah, to say the least.
I figured this is probably the spot I want to get him in.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good spot entering into the top 40. I feel top 40 is going to be tight as it is.
Yeah.
So I feel like Joe Walsh there is the right fit.
Sounds good. My next pick is Carlos Santana.
Okay. We both had him, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't even need explanation.
Yeah, Carlos Santana. Rock. Freaking
But
like
that was a guy
everything.
that also took guitar players and gave them a stepping stone, right?
Yeah,
He originally tried to hire Eric Clapton,
yeah,
but Eric was so strung out on heroin that he passed on him, and then he went with a young buck named Neil Sean.
yeah,
Like, it's amazing.
yeah, and so yeah, definitely. I'm gonna get him out of there. I'm pretty sure he's on your list right now too.
Mhm.
But he's got to go, and I think if he's gonna go, this is the time for him to go. It's Paul Gilbert,
Yeah.
because Paul Gilbert could just destroy anybody on a guitar.
Yeah.
And you know, did he was in Mr. Big,
Mhm.
which, you know, once again, people only think of To Be With You or whatever that song
Yeah,
was
yeah.
when they think of Mr. Big. They don't really go down the rabbit hole of everything else.
There's
So
some incredible playing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Paul Gilbert, number 39 for me. And I
Okay.
figure that burns one for you too.
Yeah, it does. Okay, and I'm probably about the right time to throw this guy into a guy, buddy guy.
Yep. Okay, so there's another guy I have on my list. So
Yeah.
yeah, Buddy Guy is definitely worthy.
Yeah.
Um like this is the thing, right? It's like when you look at some of these guys, you just have to like take the influence that they've had on some of the largest artists of all time,
Mhm. Yep.
right? And you have to look at it and go, okay,
And the
they,
man's still grinding too. Still playing.
yeah, yeah. He's kind of like BB King that way.
Yeah.
He's just gonna grind it out, play till right till the very last breath.
Absolutely.
Um, this one might be a little controversial,
Okay.
but I think this is a good spot for him. We're gonna go Frank Zappa.
Yeah. No, I'm good with that. He's on my list.
Yeah, I think Frank Zappa at 36, obviously at the time was seen as like, um, at the time he was seen as kind of a weird out there.
Yeah.
you know, in a way, if Wheezy had the same success as his father, Wheezy was a better guitar player, I think.
Uh, Man, I don't know. I don't think he was.
But Frank had like it, right?
Oh man,
Yeah. So
otherworldly.
yeah. So Frank well, yeah, he was definitely from out of this world. Which
Well, you.
almost makes me forget about another guitarist that I just thought of when you said that. Now I'm like,
Oh
oh
no.
fuck.
Oh no. Well, I'm going to use one of my vetoes now, and I'll put Derek Trucks in this spot.
Derek Trucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which again, man, if I were to pick between him and Zappa, be a little different story. But I held off for a bit, and I can't any longer.
Yeah. And now this is where my strategy comes into play. Jeff Healy at 35 because I said he's a better
I
slide
think I
player.
didn't I already put Jeff Healy in there.
No, I vetoed it.
Oh yeah.
So I said that
Okay.
Jeff Healy was a better slide player than Derek
Yeah, yeah.
Trucks.
Okay.
Jeff Healy is going in at 35.
All right. Okay. Man.
Played you
Uh,
like a fiddle.
no. Oh yeah. You did. Okay, man. I didn't realize you vetoed him. I thought he was on the list. Okay.
No, I vetoed him.
Okay. All
I
right.
still have 2 vetoes left too, by the way.
Yeah,
So
I know you do. Okay, I'm pointing the real White Hendrix. It's Robin Trower.
I didn't even have Robin Trower.
Oh, party foul. Man, Bridge of Sighs, Day of the Eagle. Oh,
I didn't even have him.
just incredible.
Here's the thing. Okay. I'm not gonna argue this one. I should have had him on my list.
Yeah.
I should have had him. There's no excuse why I didn't. I just should have. Um, but I'm in a real sticky situation here, and I think I gotta put him here.
Okay.
Phil Collins is going at number 33.
Yeah. Eh?
Yeah, because I'm like seriously looking at this, going like, I can't put him ahead of 20 people on my list, and I know you have your list.
Yeah.
So if I thought we were more in tune, like I was expecting us to be,
Mm-hmm.
I would be a little bit more. I'd be a little bit more
Dude.
or inclined to let him keep going, but
Yeah.
I just feel like we're gonna be in a real world of hurt here in a second.
Yeah. I think so.
So
Well, I gotta now fit in Duane Allman.
Duane Allman. Okay, I was expecting you to have him higher.
I was.
I was expecting you to have
Hang
him
on.
way
Give me a
higher.
second. Give me a second before you lock that in. Hang on.
Can I don't want to influence your choice.
Man. Yeah, no. Pull him out. I know who I'm putting in.
Okay.
Keith Richards.
Okay.
Because he doesn't have the technical prowess, but again, no denying what riffage, alternate tuning, just Mr. Rock and Roll. I love that about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Locking him in.
I think if he's in the top 35, no one would be mad at me for putting him here at 31, just outside the top 30. I'm going to go with Peter Frampton.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
I feel like he fits. That's like where I was expecting him to go.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's here with that spot, I feel good taking that.
Do you feel? I always say that Simpsons episode, man.
Yeah, and Peter Frampton is like, you just go down the list of his resume of songs. It's second to none, right? So
that's a good one. Okay.
So we're into the top 30 now. So
yeah,
we really need to
proceed
down
with caution.
Here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just looking over a couple things here. I'm gonna put Roy Buchanan.
Roy Buchanan?
Yeah, did you have him?
Nope.
You want to see a player crank Fender Bassman's tone, technicality. He was doing stuff on guitar that people were not doing at that time.
Like, I think I saw him play Hey Joe once.
Yes, you absolutely did.
And that was right.
Yeah. That is a thunderous version of it.
Yeah, but
actually just gave my dad one of my guitars because he was playing it. It sounded like Roy Buchanan. I'm like, yeah, that guitar's yours now.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if I have him at 30 though, but I can see why you would put him at 30. Right. I just don't know if I would. Right?
Yeah, in hindsight, probably should have got him a little earlier too, but
yeah,
here we are.
This is like we talked about this yesterday. This is not recency bias or by any means or anything, but I'm just looking at the list and I feel like he's got to go now. It's Nuno Betancourt.
Yeah. Looking at mine, originally I would put him, I mean, he's one of my biggest influences, but I'm not going to veto you on this one.
I'm, if I'm looking down the list at guys,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of them I just can't put ahead of them.
Yeah. No, you're right. Same.
Like, there's a bunch I can't put ahead of them.
Yeah.
So, and if I was to choose someone else, I'm just going to be honest, it's him or Marty Friedman.
Yeah.
And if I don't think I would feel right if I had Marty behind him.
No, you're right. Same.
And if you were to put them both in a room and say shred it out,
Mhm.
I don't think Nuno walks out of that.
Yeah. No,
I just
you're right.
don't. So
I'm going to
yeah.
put Jason Becker next. I'm going to get him locked in. Again, it's tragic that he couldn't continue his career with, contracting Lou Gehrig's disease. And well, what a warrior, still living through, communicating through eye movement, right? Something that his
Yeah.
dad designed. But you can't deny, you listen to him, he's doing Paganini's Fifth at like 14 years old.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. If he had not got sick, no guitar player in this world would have ever touched him. Ever. Ever.
As a guitar collector, right? Because I wanted to make sure I had everything right on him.
Yeah.
Did you see the news story about him today?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So he's selling off the Wolfgang that Eddie gave him, personalized when they first met. Yeah, pretty big.
That's gonna fetch a pretty penny.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Hell, those Wolfgangs without a signature are fetching big bucks. Now it's got Eddie's signature on it and gifted to Jason Becker, one of the
that's gonna be
most amazing guitar players ever.
Keep in mind, you still have one veto to use.
Yeah.
Still. Okay. Okay, at 27, I'm going Angus Young.
Okay.
Because there's certain guitarists I want above Dimebag.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the right spot for Angus.
Okay. Sounds good. You mean there's certain ones because I vetoed. I took Dimebag. I'm still holding on to him.
Yeah, you have to put him somewhere.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'll man, I hate to use them so quickly. I'm going to put Marty Friedman in now.
You're going to put Marty in now?
Yeah.
You know what? It's not a bad spot.
No. What I love about Friedman and Becker too, and one of the things I learned from it was, you make a wrong note, you just bend it up.
Yeah.
And if you have to bend a semitone or like just wail on the bass or like an overbend just for pure effect, then you do one or the other. But like they found their notes on a fretboard.
Yes.
So that's my choice there.
Okay. Number 25.
Okay.
I feel like I gotta put him now because I don't want him in the top 20.
Okay.
But the guy shreds. And you know how hard this is going to be for me to put him on the list. Or you're forcing me to put him on the list.
Do I own one of his guitars with a bullseye on it? No?
No.
Okay.
But he replaced my favorite guitarist at one point.
Okay.
And we're going Buckethead at 25.
Wow, eh? You know what? I wasn't going to put him on.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's no denying the guy is absolutely insane. I got to see him like, okay, like it's like you said, he replaced your favorite guitar player with one of my favorite guitar players. It's like you're watching him. He comes out and he doesn't play a solo first. He starts doing the robot, and you're like, what the hell's going on? And then he pulls a set of nunchucks and he starts just giving her, and you're like, okay. Then they come on, they hand him his V guitar. He breaks into the Empire song first from Star Wars, then starts going to something that sounded like it was just from another planet. A lot of like weird tapping stuff and all that, and you're like, this is
The kill switch.
wild.
You know,
Yeah, I do.
the kill switch, like, you know.
And then he broke into chicken picking.
Yeah, like this is the thing, right? Like, you know, the reason I put him at 25 the minute you said Marty Friedman is he kind of reminds me of a Marty Friedman type that can just play different styles.
Yeah.
And he can do everything, right? You could take him and put him in a country band. You could put him in a rock band. You could have him in a thrash metal band. You could have him, you know, playing with Michael Jackson, and he'll mesh into all of them. So
absolutely.
But at the same time, we're going to have legends in the top 20.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have them associated with that.
No, that's fair. I just
couldn't.
All right. Well, you'll be happy with this. I'm putting Dimebag in now.
Okay.
Listen, a sense of relief.
Yes,
everyone thought that.
Because there's so many I wanted to have in front of him.
I know.
That's why I was gonna put him when I did. You know, like, and this is not me hating on Dimebag. Okay.
Oh, I know.
You know, but his career was cut short, tragically.
Yeah.
And
notice I did put him up above Marty Friedman. That's a big thing for me too.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Because as far as bands, I was way more into Megadeth than it was Pantera.
True.
And like the Marty's tone, Marty's feel, was way better too. But I also know what Dimebag brought to the mix.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know. Okay. I think I got the next one.
Okay.
And I don't know if he's on your list. I would assume he's on your list. I'm going David Gilmour.
My friend, I'm going to veto you on that one.
Really?
Yeah, that man is going up higher. Last veto used, though. So, I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, Dave Gilmour is going up higher than that. What else you got? Hit me, baby, one more time.
You do realize what you just did, right?
Oh, yeah.
You putting David Gilmour in the top 20.
Yes, sir. I thought it was a given.
Let me just do something here real quick.
Nope, we didn't say Gilmour yet. Firefrag was wondering.
Okay, you know what? I know who I'm going to put here. Joe Perry.
Okay.
Joe Perry is going to go at... Because I'm pretty sure we don't have Joe Perry at all.
No, we don't.
So yeah, Joe Perry is going in at 23 for me then, if you don't not giving me Gilmour.
Okay.
Okay. Number 22.
Okay. Oh shit, man. Did I say Gary Moore yet? I don't think I did, eh?
You have no one. I have Gary Moore on my list.
Yeah, he's got to go in now.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, the Thin Lizzy stuff.
Yeah.
Moody Blues stuff is solo stuff. It speaks for itself. The tone.
I have him on my list.
Yeah.
Absolutely needs to be on here.
Yeah.
Right? Just like there's one other guy that needs to be on here, I think, but I don't know if he's going to make it at this stage.
Yeah.
So the fact that you got him in there works for me.
Yeah.
Okay, number 21. This one you may not even have. But I'm going Tony Iommi.
Of course I did.
I was trying to make it sound like you're anti Black Sabbath, but Tony Iommi, Black Sabbath, obviously.
My hard hat at work has Black Sabbath on it. Everyone's got their mining stickers. It's like I've got Eddie Van Halen, Black Sabbath, David Bowie, and then one of my mine things.
Yeah, like I think Tony Iommi at 21 is the right spot.
I think that's fair.
And I'm looking like I said, I'm looking here, going like, oh, we're in trouble. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, we'll see.
I think we have about 23 guys that should be in the top 20 right now, and that's scaring me. So
yeah,
who do you have to kick off the top 20?
Woo! No pressure, right? Man, this is getting tough now.
Uh-huh.
I'm like staring at this list. I'm not Googling for answers anymore. I'm looking at my list, but I killed off some heavy hitters for sure. Okay, I'm sure he's on your list, and we didn't name him, and he's got to be in here. Billy Gibbons.
Veto.
You want him higher? Oh,
yes.
You dirty rat. Okay, all right.
You're not doing that to Billy on my watch.
Come on, some of the people that are left. Okay, all right. Okay.
I already know who I would put there.
I'm not put Joe Satriani then.
That's exactly who I was thinking.
And I don't like that. Yeah, I'm putting him there. I would have put him a little higher, but I understand the reasoning behind it. So okay, Satch is there.
Yeah, Satriani is right there.
Okay.
19. Oh boy. You know what I'm gonna do? I don't know if you're gonna like this, but Mark Knopfler.
No, that's fine.
I think, obviously Dire Straits, Salt in the Swing, money for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
all picked with his fingers.
Yeah, and yeah, he's just built different.
Then from a nerdy guitar aspect, like when he came out and he switched from Strats to what we didn't know what they were, and then it turns out they're called a Pensasur, and you're like, what the hell is a Pensasur? Yeah. Well, it was a collaboration between whoever Pensa and John Suhr, who's formerly from Fender, and now Suhr guitars. My God, can you even get one under $5,000 now? Likely not.
No,
but no. Incredible machines.
You're lucky you can find one for under $7 now.
Oh, it's crazy. Well, because now even their regular Strat style with the pickguard, they're asking like $5-6 plus tax for them here in Canada.
And for those looking, for those in the streaming space,
see my dirty rat went over well with our friend Firefrag.
Yes, Firefrag likes it when people call me dirty rat. And
oh, you dirty rat.
But for those people who are on the streaming side of this, since we're on a streaming platform, Shure is the same company that builds all the top microphones.
This different company. Shure.
I thought.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But Shure also makes guitars. And microphones.
Shure does. SUHR.
Oh, then that's my bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was the same company that did.
Oh, not at all. John Suhr was the masterclass builder for Fender. So if you got a JS stamp pickup, for example, that was like, top end. That was hand wound by one of their best builders. Yeah. And then John went on to make his other company, and so he had like the Suhr standard. After Pensasur, he had the standard, the Suhr modern. Andy Wood has a signature telly with him. Pete Thorne, anyone that's into watching his videos online, he's got a signature one. Ian Thornley from Big Wreck, he's got a signature Suhr. These are top dollar, beautiful machines, man.
Yeah. Okay.
But then you have to wrap your head around the whole fact that you're paying at the most part, $7,000 to $9,000 for something that's basically a Strat.
Yeah, but it has that mystique to it, right?
A little bit. I mean, they're hand built, and there's no QC issues with these things.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
18.
Michael.
Yep.
Uh, tu- 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 tu. Hmm. Wow, this is getting tough.
Real
Uh,
tough.
yeah. Okay, I'll put Steve Vai in here.
Okay. Yeah, and you know, here's the thing. Like
Show
these
our audience.
everybody in the 20s in this top 20, none of these guys are even close. Dude, that thing is so damn nice.
Aguilero's getting it. Yeah, Steve Vai, floral with the monkey grip. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I can carry it to work. Yeah,
I always love that vine inlay up the neck.
yeah, the tree of life there.
Yeah. What was the white one that was like the original? What was that one called?
Well, he gave them names. There's Evo
Was it a
and
gem?
Flow. Yeah, they're all gems. This is a gem too.
Yeah.
So it just depends what model, right?
Yeah, this one was white and like with the green pickups in it, I think. Back in the 90s.
Yeah, that was his main one, the white one. So now
Yeah.
he's got a bit of a change one, but anyway, yeah, I just want to show that off.
Okay. I feel like I got to take him here.
Yeah, what you got?
Yeah, I'm going to. George Harrison
Yeah,
at 17.
yeah. You know, in hindsight, I probably would have had him a little lower at this point. But I mean, again,
He's a Beatle.
that's a fucking Beatle.
And if you were to like, Paul McCartney had his big hits.
Yeah.
Right. Lennon had his hits. Ringo's Ringo. Right. But I think, and I'll have to look this up, I think George Harrison's the only one with a number one single after the
I don't know.
Beatles. Because that I got my mind set on you debuted
Yeah,
at
that was
number one,
huge. Yeah.
right?
I think Paul McCartney, I got it with Wings, but it could be wrong.
But that was him with
Yeah.
Wings.
Yeah, I mean, still, yeah.
It's not him being solo.
As far as I was concerned, he was solo on that, but I mean, him and Linda, right? But yeah, no, you're right. And yeah, I don't think Ringo ever had anything that topped that. I think what really like the appeal with George Harrison is how like just chill and unbothered, calm, cool, collected he was. You know,
Yeah.
didn't want the spotlight, did his thing, could play, could sing.
He did everything. Like I feel like he remember how we were talking about like the Edge and how he was like the glue that holds you two together.
Yeah,
Harrison was that for the Beatles.
yeah, I think so too.
And I definitely want to look that up because I think that would be an interesting stat. But
Yeah,
I do believe that he might be the only Beatle with a single number one.
right.
And I don't even know if Wings had a number one
I don't know.
because their
We'll
biggest
take
hit was
that one
Live.
offline.
Yeah, their biggest hit was "Live and Let Die."
Yeah.
So, okay, who do you have at number 16?
This hurts me to say it. I want him higher. It's gonna hurt. My boy Zach Wild. I got to get him in now. I think just out of fairness, some of the other guys I have queued up, I'm like, and again, you know, on a personal level, how much that hurts me. Anyone listening, I am the biggest Zach Wild fan.
He comments on your Instagram videos.
Yeah, man. When I woke up to that and he called me Father Matt, said I was sounding kick ass, I was just like over the moon.
Yeah, right. Like no wonder you're his biggest fan. Look, Zach Wild is probably, when it comes to guitar players, one of the top 3 most badass individuals.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he is the guy, like he uses like saint terminology. The guy is one
Mm,
when it comes in the guitar world.
yeah.
Right? So, here's the thing. If you're in the top 20 of all time, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, you're no slouch at that point.
You're no slouch at that point, right? It's like, I don't think there's many guys that could walk in and fill Randy Rose's shoes.
No, absolutely not. And
Right?
some guys tried it, and it was very short lived. Even Brad Gillis from Night Ranger, he was there actually, and that guy's a monster too. Now thinking of bring him up, I would have had him in some stuff as the 80s guitar players. Oops, but yeah, then Jakey Lee, same thing. Zach came in, and Zach proved himself.
Yeah,
and young too.
He was, dude.
I think he was 19 or 18 or 19 when he got the gig.
Yeah, and then before, while he was doing Ozzy, he had that. What was the record called? His solo record.
No, he did that in between. He did Pride and Glory in between.
Pride and Glory. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Pride and Glory was in between Ozzy and then Black Label.
Yeah.
Right?
And it was like outlaw, Southern rock.
Yeah, but like I remember there was that one single off that first album that he brought out. Yeah, and I remember just looking at that going like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because it was the first time you really heard him sing too. Yeah. And yeah, Zach's a beast. Zach's
absolutely.
Beast. I think right now I'm going to use my veto, and this is where I wanted him in the beginning. So Billy Gibbons is number 15.
Okay.
And Billy Gibbons, come on.
Yeah,
you had your personal guy.
Yeah, I know.
Right, with Zach getting messages on your Instagram from Zach. I got to hang out with the man for 3 days.
Yeah.
And just the stories.
For anyone who doesn't know, Derek's getting inside info on the GNR camp from Billy.
I did.
I'm like, you can't buy this shit.
Remember when I said to you, like, all the problems were based off of one individual? And then as soon as it was announced that they were getting divorced, all of a sudden it was like, there's reunions.
Yeah, amazing.
It was like 2 months later. But any guitar player, and I don't think there's a guitar player on this list that can rock 7-gauge strings.
yeah, and stay in tune. Like, come on now.
Tune on a Les Paul.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the hell he does it.
My parents got me like as a stocking stuffer. It was either this last Christmas, the Billy Gibbons strings, and they're 7-gauge. My dad's like, you should try it out, and I'm too scared to. I'm like, I don't need thick gauge for anything. Like I'm not a 10 to 46 or whatever on a Les Paul. Yeah. I still like I go against the grain. I'm like 9 to 42 on everything, whether it's a Strat, a Tele, a Les Paul. I don't care. Maybe if I'm tuned down half a step or something, a little different. But anyway, so to see the 7 thing, I'm like, I don't even know what to do with this. But eventually I'll get a little squirrely and grab one of my guitars and say, okay, you're getting 7s now, and you better like it.
Yeah, like, to be honest with you, I honestly don't even know how he doesn't snap strings like he's going out of style.
Yeah. Well, you're not doing a lot of bending, but yeah, I mean the thinner gauge itself.
He when I asked him, I'm like, why 7 gauges? He goes, why work harder?
Yeah, and he said that to others too, and some people have switched over to like even at least 8s. Why work harder, Billy Gibbons? Yeah.
Why work harder? So yeah, I'm good. Oh, cool. I'm happy with having Billy at 15 for sure.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. You still have David Gilmour in the chamber.
Yeah, you damn right I do.
Oh my God.
You damn right I do. How squirrely do I get right now? Man, I gotta make some big decisions here.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Yo, okay. I probably should have burned him faster, but I think this is the right spot still because, again, influence, BB King.
Okay.
He must have been on your list.
Oh, absolutely. He was
Yeah,
on my
that's
list.
another one of those guys. One note and he can command an audience,
Oh,
and
yeah.
just his charisma, man, it kills me. But again, the kudos he gave to Derek Trucks when he's watching Derek play, I'm like, man, that's cool.
Yeah. And, you know, like you said, he could command a room with one note.
Yeah,
He could have anybody come and sit in with him.
yeah,
It didn't matter who,
that's right.
right? Like he would just hold his own, and he was just, you would sit there and think to yourself like, you know, Slash or Stevie Ray Vaughan or any of these guys could come in and just blow him out of the water.
Yeah,
And he would just be like, hold my beer.
yeah.
I'm gonna I'm running this show type thing. So yeah, definitely BB King at 14 makes a lot of sense. This one might surprise you for me. Um, but we have some just hardcore iconic guys coming.
Yeah.
And I love this man. He's my role model. He's the reason I picked up guitar.
Yeah.
But
I know who.
I'm looking at this going like, I can't put him ahead of some of these guys.
Yeah.
And that's Slash.
Yeah.
I don't like putting him at unlucky number 13. Also, happy birthday. It was your birthday yesterday. But
Yeah, that's right.
I have him at 13. I'm just looking at my list and I'm like, I don't think if he watched this video, he'd be upset being number 13.
Nah, he's sorry, Slash.
So yeah, I've got him at number 13. Do I even need to say anything about his music? No, I don't think so.
Exactly.
It's a no-brainer. So
okay, sounds good.
So you got number 12.
You're not gonna like me.
I'm not gonna like you.
No, you're not gonna like me.
Why is that?
I'm putting Jimmy Page in now.
You're putting him in now, eh?
Yeah. No, so which means that I'm still holding on to Gilmour. That's pretty big. I feel like that's going to be very split amongst any listener too.
Yeah, I'm shocked you have Jimmy Page here.
Yeah.
At 12.
Yeah.
Because most lists will have him at 2.
Yeah.
So,
and I may regret this too. I'm leaving room because I know, we're getting down to slim pickings here. Yeah. But we still have some major dudes.
Yeah. I'm actually shocked you're putting David Gilmour ahead of Jimmy Page.
Yeah, I knew you would be shocked with that. And I thought of it. I gave it some thought too, but like, man, I think where David Gilmour has the edge for me is also his tone.
Yeah.
And I know that hey, maybe it's a little bit of a placebo effect. I don't know. But that man had tone. Yeah. My God. And Jimmy Page, I love his, kind of like the no holds barred. There's a sloppiness that kind of adds to it. Yeah. As far as the electric, on acoustic, I'll say that there's nothing sloppy about the acoustic stuff. Like, holy crap, listen to like, going to California or anything like that. Like, love that stuff. It's gorgeous, the overlay and all that. But like his guitar tone, as far as like, yeah, on record or live, yeah, not my thing. But then David Gilmour, that's a sauce, man.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
Yeah, so that's where I gave him the edge.
yeah, it's just I was looking at um just looking at like some of the people on my list,
Yeah.
and I would have thought you would have had this guy next. Now I don't agree with a lot of the shit he's been saying lately. Um, Actually, I think it's downright stupid, but he is phenomenal on the guitar,
Yeah.
and that's Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Might have been higher for me, you know, but that whole thing, in my opinion, has just left a bad taste in my mouth.
Honestly, no, I agree. I agree. I know what he's brought to music. I think he needs to shut his mouth too. I saw things where even like just after Eddie passed, Valerie Bertinelli was saying like, yeah, Eric Clapton was such an a-hole,
Yeah,
and it just started coming out more and more. So no, I agree with your pick.
yeah. Like I think I just can't put him in the top 10 for it.
Yeah.
But I thought you
Uh,
would have had him behind Jimmy.
uh, you know what? Kind of a mistake on my part because I my list is a little mixed right now, and I
Yeah.
had him a little lower, and I didn't see it. My top is really refined, but yeah, I should have had Clapton first, then Jimmy. So oh well, he sneaks her in there. Whatever. You know what? I glow the hell up when I hear White Room still though.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, there's
yeah,
I listen to anything by Clapton, and it's like,
yeah,
it's just, why do you have to be such an asshole?
I know, I know. Okay,
Right?
no,
Now,
we're
that's all speculation. Um, I don't know
yeah.
if he was an asshole. Don't sue me, Eric Clapton, please. Actually, or maybe you do. Maybe people will watch this video. Um,
Okay.
but
So
okay, we're into the top 10 now.
yeah,
So you're kicking off the top 10. I'm going to be interested to see where you go here.
yeah. Oh man. So I'm just looking at this list here and do I use them yet? Do I not? Okay, you know what? No, I'm gonna put someone here. Mm, I don't think I'm gonna have room for one guy, so I'm gonna have to pick his master. I'm gonna pick
Okay.
Chet Atkins.
Chet here. Okay.
Yeah. So the reason, okay, so I was actually originally going to put Tommy Emmanuel in there,
Okay.
who's an absolute beast.
And
My God.
who I don't
But
even have on my list.
oh man, you got to get into Tommy Emmanuel. It's wild. So like
Yeah.
Chet Atkins has a thing where he deems someone a master player, and I think he's only deemed that to three people in the world,
Yeah.
and Tommy Emmanuel is one of them. Like,
Okay.
he's that incredible. But again, knowing where we are now, got to make a
Yeah.
decision. So I'll just pick the master. So I pick Chet.
Okay. So Chet Atkins at number 9. Okay. Oh my God. We are in so much trouble.
Yeah, because there's a few I'm like, oh, oopsie.
Okay. At number 9. We're going to have to leave someone off
Yeah, I know.
because of your David Gilmour
Hey.
tomfoolery.
I stand by that so much.
Those three are in, which which means that's 6 spots left. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15. I'm doing it. Stevie Ray Vaughan at number 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Stevie
glad
Ray
we didn't burn him off early. I guess we were both kind of holding off on that.
Yeah. Like, obviously, blues just coursing out of him through a Strat.
Yeah.
Right. Mixed in with that, rock edge, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, stupidest thing he ever did was get into a helicopter.
Yeah.
But basically to go on a joyride. But he's got to be in the top 10.
Yeah.
He's got to be there, in my opinion. So yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I am letting anybody watching this on YouTube or anything, we fucked up. Because we have 8 spots for 14 guys, and this is not good.
Okay. Yeah, we may have. Okay. Well, let's just continue it with I hate that I'm gonna say this. No, I'm not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Let's keep on the helicopter theme. He's like, oh no, don't say it. Randy Rhoads.
Okay. I thought you were going Van Zant.
No. Listen,
Just to mess with me.
I am a huge Skinner fan, and honestly, I didn't put them in the list.
Yeah.
Which, again, in hindsight, now I'm looking at some of those '80s guys. I'm like, ooh, I may have messed up.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's what it is. We continue on.
Okay, so number 7. You're gonna hate me for this.
Yeah.
We're gonna do Kurt Cobain.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
God.
I'm kidding.
God.
Got him.
Again, it's not that I'm not a fan. Like, look, literally in my studio.
That's something Rolling Stone would have done.
That is cruel. No, legit. Okay.
Okay. I'm doing this because I have to make sure my guy's on the list.
Okay.
Number 7, Brian May.
Okay. Fair.
I have to put him in. Obviously, versatile as all hell. He could make a guitar made out of a fireplace sound good.
Yeah. Okay, refresh my exactly. Refresh my memory here. Did I pick Duane Allman yet?
No.
This may be the one thing
Wait, let me check.
Please do, because this might be the one that actually really messes up. Plus, I like how you made me feel like, hey, yeah, you go first. You get to pick number 1.
I do?
I think so.
No.
Isn't that how I think so.
6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
I want. Can we do this?
Acting all coy on count.
Can we start over? So I can go first.
Oh man, it's tough. So, but yeah, if we can confirm if Duane Allman was used or not.
He is not on the list.
Okay, he's in.
Duane Allman.
Yeah. No one played slide like him. I can. live a happy life if I just listen to him play the end of Layla.
Yeah. I am very, very upset
Yeah,
that David Gilmour is getting in the top 5.
I know. Mm.
Okay. That is upsetting me.
Yeah, I might have even taken this too far with that one.
Yeah,
But
because you have
you know what?
you have 2 picks left. You know
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
So I only have 3 places to go.
Okay.
Because I know who you're picking, because one of them's Gilmour.
Yeah. Do I have to
And
pick him if I view him? I
yeah,
have to, eh? Okay.
yeah. And I also know, because I can kind of see his guitar hanging behind you, who one of your other ones is going to be.
Oh.
Which that means.
You know, I also have a David Gilmour guitar, right? It's not my brother's right now, but
But do you know what that means?
it means we're going to fight over. I know who we're going to fight over. Oh, man. Oh, should I have even picked Duane? Oh, my God. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
but here's the thing. I have 3 picks.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can just decide who the top 5 are right now by debating this,
Sure.
or we can go back and forth, because I am going to
Are we
say
down
this.
just to 5? That I picked number 6.
You
Is that
just
what it
picked
was?
Duane Allman at 6.
Man. Okay. All right.
So here's the thing. Okay, if we did the back and forth,
Yeah.
I would be picking at 5, and I would pick Les Paul.
I actually would have had him higher. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
like I'm just saying, I'm giving you, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's time we just debate the 5.
Then you go with David Gilmour, because he has to be one of the 5 now.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? I can't do that to Les.
Right? And
Okay.
then you're gonna take Eddie.
Of course.
Right? Which
Yeah.
means I would be in the position of picking between Jeff Beck
and Jimi Hendrix.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it gets worse. And Prince, who's still not on the list.
We fucked up.
And
Can we have top 101?
No, and you know who else isn't on there? Chuck Berry.
Yeah, you know what? I thought about that. Okay, so he would have been in there, but as we got like further and further away from this, I mean, I have a Chuck Berry guitar too.
Yeah, you know who else is on here? Pete Townsend.
Yeah, I know. Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Dickie Betts didn't make the list.
Yeah. Dude, we fucked up God.
Oh yeah. Mick Ronson, David Bowie's guitarist, never made it.
I had Ronson on here too. I think I actually wrote him twice.
Scotty Moore, Elvis's guitarist, is
not on what? I didn't have Scotty Moore.
Eric
I didn't.
Johnson didn't make the list.
Oh, we fucked up. Okay, no, we fucked up bad. We fucked up really bad. Really bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you see where I was having the struggle at number 60? Because I was looking at all these guys.
Maybe we gotta figure out a better format. Guys, we fucked up. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we have no Lifeson on there.
No, that's true. You know what? Can we reconvene at another time, like next week, and we trim down?
No. So here's the thing. Okay, if we were to list it, so okay, number 5 is David Gilmour, because he shouldn't even be this high. Okay.
Oh no, he should be that high. Oh, you just cut out. I can't hear you. Hello? I can't hear you.
Give me 1 second. Sometimes I move my mic and it cuts out. Okay, so David Gilmour is 5.
Mm-hmm.
Prince is 4.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which means 3 is one of Les Paul, Jimi Hendrix, Jeff Beck, or Eddie Van Halen?
Yeah, we have to do top 101.
No, we can't do that. Now, remember how I said we can go back and change one?
Yeah.
We can do that.
Okay, we're going to have to.
But
We change one each?
we change one each, but you have to remove that person from that spot
and put the other one in.
And put the other one in. You can't start shifting the list around. So you can't sit there and say, I'm putting Eddie at 100.
Not like I would anyway, but
I'm just saying, like, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it's fair. Okay. All right.
So
you know what? Oh man.
Here's my thing. Les Paul, Hendrix, and Beck are 1, 2, 3.
Mine are Eddie Van Halen, Les Paul, and Hendrix. Jeff Beck was my 4th.
That's so disrespectful.
No, if you think of it though, so for Eddie, it's not just what he did, like how he brought guitar to the other stage. If you think of it, as an inventor, everything you hear in like rock, punk, metal in the last 25 years are all based off his amp design. That's huge. And then with Les Paul, him as an innovator, we couldn't record multi-track if it wasn't for him. So that's why. But Eddie's goated. Eddie.
See, if I had my ideal top 5, it would have been Eddie, Prince, Beck, Hendrix, Les Paul.
Yeah. Man. Firefly, David Gilmour, number 1. Oh, shit. Let's watch him have a conniption. No, we can't do that. No, I went from there.
Now, that would be my top 5.
Yeah.
But the problem we have now is that if you take out David Gilmour and put in Eddie.
No, I'm not doing that.
Well, okay, here's the thing. Would you take out, like, who's it?
I'm just
trying
looking.
Yeah, like, I only have the top 20 in there right now.
Yeah, I'm just going to wait till it scrolls over a bit there again.
Would you take out, let me ask you this. Would you remove Jason Becker to put Les Paul at 28?
Ooh,
because,
man. Okay.
Actually, would you take out Buckethead?
Well, that wasn't my pick. That was yours.
No, that's fine. You can take out any pick you want.
Yeah. Oh, I can?
Yeah, you can take out one of my picks.
Oh, yeah, dude. I would toss Buckethead to the curb for sure.
Yeah, right? So you take out Buckethead and you put
Which is number 1?
Well, I would put David Gilmour there.
No.
That's rough. That's where I had him roughly. Remember when I picked him?
Yeah. Let me see where it's scrolling again there.
The 25 is not there.
Okay. So Buckethead's at what? What number?
So you have Marty Friedman at 26, Buckethead at 25, Dimebag Darrell 24, Joe Perry 23, Gary Moore 22, Tony Iommi at 21, and Joe Satriani at 20.
Oh man.
So
Buckethead's definitely the one that has to go. Okay. You know what? Out of fairness, okay, fine. I don't like it, but I need it. Put Gilmour where Buckethead is. Because I can't compromise on the other ones. And I'm not compromising on Eddie.
And that's where I was going to put him roughly in the beginning.
We are not compromising on Eddie.
But that's where I was going to put Gilmour in the beginning.
Yeah.
Firefrag, no. Firefrag is just trying to troll us here. So, at number 5... would you agree Eddie Van Halen?
Nope.
Who do you want at 5 then?
5, it would be Les Paul at that point. I can live with Les Paul there. What do you think? So who are our remaining ones? We have Eddie Hendricks, Jeff
Well,
Beck.
let me tell you who should be on this list that isn't on this list so far. Okay? We have Les Paul, Jimi Hendrix, Jeff Beck, Alex Lifeson.
Well, I would even keep like I don't think we should go back too far. Like let's who we think will be in the
Eddie
top
Van
five.
Halen.
Yeah.
I'm just naming out potentials, and Chuck
Yeah.
Berry.
Yeah. I wouldn't even put Chuck in there. Plus he did Old Girls. I mean, sorry, that's on the podcast, but
Yeah, we'll have to beep that. Don't need the estate suing us. Okay, so number 5,
Oops.
you want
I'm
Les
with this.
Paul?
I think.
Okay. Number 5, Les Paul. Number 4.
That's
We
probably
got-
where
To me, it's Eddie.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There's no way. Well, I won't even cave on this one. It can't be. There's no way. The everything he did. I mean, people.
Yeah.
He terrified people.
Yes. Yeah, but so did Prince.
Not on the same level. No.
Please.
No.
Please. That guy took on anything. It didn't matter who you were.
Nah. I would put Prince like 5.
And he would
5 or 4.
He would dress in purple suede and still scare the hell out of you with mascara on. Like Prince is.
Prince did create guitar. There was really only one album that he was known for, like guitar prowess, and that was When Doves Cry. If you listen to a lot of the other stuff, it was a lot of like it was the composition. I'll give it that, but he didn't create guitar players. People are like picking up guitar because I want to play like Prince. In fact, he was kind of like weird about it, where sometimes he didn't even know he was a guitar player. So that's where I think it takes away from that, where it's like, everyone wanted to be Eddie. If you look at the list, like all these guys, even the ones that are scary.
I want to be Eddie.
Well, very few. Tons of people.
To be honest with you, you want to hear something that's a hot take?
Yeah.
I hated Van Halen until Sammy Hagar got there.
Well, you know what? I don't mind that statement because, like, rock. Okay, like the music was powerful and it was like arena rock. But Roth's not a singer, man. He's a performer. I love Sammy. Sammy can sing.
Sammy is Van Halen. Sammy is like Sammy Hagar in Van Halen. I liked.
Yeah.
David Lee Roth was for me. It was like nails on a freaking chalkboard every time I tried to listen to it. And Panama drives me up the wall.
Oh yeah, it does to me too. Like I don't ever jam that.
It drives
my favorite album is Van Halen 2, which they wrote and recorded in less than like a week, which is insane. I had like Dead or Alive and Spanish Butterfly, Women in Love.
Okay.
What else? Yeah.
So what you're saying is you want Prince at 4.
Yeah.
Okay, then who's 3?
That would be Jeff Beck at that point.
You're not. No. No. No.
How many people have a signature Jeff Beck guitar? Not many.
You know why? Because no one can play like Jeff Beck.
Sure, I can.
No. Jeff Beck did things on guitar people could only dream of.
He definitely had his own style, but it was doable. It was doable. I mean, Eddie's was too. People learned that too. You know, who I can't fucking play is that goddamn
Yeah,
Tim Henson from Polyphia.
but Jeff Beck could plug into an amp. Okay, perfect example, right? What is so if you think of Jeff Beck's guitar work, right?
Yeah.
If you think of Jeff Beck's guitar work, just look at the Young Guns album,
Yeah.
right? You don't even know it's him.
But isn't that an argument to keep him lower?
No. Because you know all he needed to do to go into a studio, right? All he needed was a guitar out of a box and an amp to plug into.
Yeah, same with Eddie.
No, don't even take away Eddie's effects.
Oh.
Not saying he's a bad guitar player, but he doesn't hang. It's like, okay, we can agree Tom Morello is a great guitar player.
I don't find he's a great guitar player. It's the influence for him.
He's not legend status, but he's a great guitar player.
Yeah, it's okay.
Take his effects away from him.
Yeah.
What is he?
Yeah. Like, again, I know, like, as far as skill level, being a shredder and all that, too, like, Tom Morello, I wouldn't even call it a great guitar player.
No,
Good.
My point is if you take his effects away, he goes from being number 40 on this list or 50 on this list.
Yeah.
To not even being on it.
Eddie doesn't, though. I mean, he started off, it was literally just overran Marshalls. Like,
I'm just saying, you look at Eddie, I'm not saying it drops him off the list, right? But what I am saying is, if you take a look at who we have, Beck, Eddie, Jimmy, and Prince.
Yeah.
Out of those four, and I know you love Eddie, okay? I know you do. But out of those four, who uses the most effects?
That shouldn't take away from it, though. I totally disagree with that.
It totally
No.
Because
No,
you're
who-
relying on effects for your tones and your sound. You take away that, and you don't have it.
Not necessarily. No. You look at, he had the world on its heels when he came out. Everyone tried to learn like him. They struggled to learn like him. You couldn't be Eddie. Like he did. Like my parents saw him in '85, and my dad, who's also quite proficient on guitar and had seen Jeff Beck even before numerous times, said nothing was like Eddie. Nothing. He's like, you had to be there in that moment to realize you're seeing something that the world had never seen. And you know what? I don't think the world will ever see another Eddie Van Halen. I really don't think so. Plus, you add the fact that, like, what he did with, again, the guitar amp, the 5150, which is literally the basis of, like, literally all heavy songs, every style now. It's wild. That is based off a modded Marshall and based off a modded Soldano, and then combined to make a 5150. Like every hard rock and metal thing we hear on the radio, that's all Eddie's sound, and that's not counting like effects or all that. That's literally just the guitar tone. Yeah. Like as an innovator, it's wild. And also he's the reason why Floyd's as big as it is.
On this list, where do you put him then?
Eddie?
Yeah.
I already tell you one.
He's not number one.
He's absolutely number one.
No.
Yeah.
He's definitely not number one.
Yeah.
Not in my mind.
Yeah. Well.
I think you're looking at Prince, Eddie, and then you're debating between Beck and Hendrix.
No, for me, Hendrix. If Hendrix or Jeff Beck were swapped between 2 and 3, it wouldn't bother me. Because
can I just cut you off for a second?
Yeah.
Where do you think Rolling Stone put Eddie Van Halen on their list?
I think it was like 5 or something. But we've already agreed that they're smoking crack.
Yeah, they are. But where do you think they put him?
I think it was 5.
8th.
Yeah.
They had Chuck Berry ahead of him, B.B. King ahead of him,
Yeah.
Jeff Beck ahead of him. They had Keith Richards ahead of him,
Yeah.
Jimmy Page ahead of him,
That means squat to me, though.
Eric Clapton, and
Those guys are
Hendrix,
on crack.
right?
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is like, look, and the voters on it, like, yeah, you have Jerry Cantrell and Billy Corgan and all these people voting on it, right? Alex Lifeson from Rush voted on it. I don't know. Derek Trucks voted on it. I don't even know if Eddie Van Halen was one of the voters on
You
this
sure about that?
list. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, Eddie would always give credit to like Clapton and
This list came
Jeff
out. This
Beck
list
and
came out in 2015.
yeah.
Okay, so, but like, like I said, I know you're an Eddie guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm a Slash guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Slash guy too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if I went for like personal choices, I would have had Slash up higher, Zach
Yeah.
higher. But I'm not just basing the Eddie thing on me being an Eddie guy. It's like, again, like his innovation, what he did to change modern music. Literally every show I go to, some guy is playing a 5150 or a Wolfgang guitar. So it's not just what he brought to the technicality of things. It's also what he brought. So I'm treating him like Les Paul, but just of the modern age.
Okay, so if you're treating him like Les Paul, then why is Les Paul 5?
Because we had to.
Why isn't he 2?
Les,
If Eddie's 1,
Les,
why is Les Paul not 2?
Les Paul was going to be my 2, but I knew you were going to argue with Beck. Literally, I had Eddie Van Halen, Les Paul, and Hendrix. That was my top 3.
See, I have Hendrix, Beck, Prince.
I'm actually surprised you had Hendrix as top, because I always thought that you're more on the no, he's not goated.
No, he is goated. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that I think with Hendrix, too many times people just default give it to him.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right? Like
I'd be okay with putting Eddie second if Hendrix is first. But I won't put Jeff Beck over Eddie. I can't. Because Jeff Beck didn't have that impact on the modern age. He had it on those guitar players that we end up loving. But, he didn't draw people like Eddie did.
Well, yeah, but then there would be my argument for Prince. Prince drew a ton. Right? He crossed over into so many different genres and realms.
Yeah, but again, like if we're looking at like what he did for guitar, and again, he's great. He's great. I would shred against Prince. I know I would. And I
watched Prince play on like sometime, like, what was it? My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Yeah, it was good
with Jeff Lynne and Tom Petty and all that, and he just destroyed.
He did, but those guys were in competition for. Let's be honest.
No.
What he did was great. If you want to look at something that's even more like awestruck, if we're going to put Jeff Beck over him, you look at We Ended as Lovers, Jeff Beck and Eric Clapton.
To be honest with you, I would almost, like, if you're dead set on having Eddie at 1
or 2 if Hendrix is first.
Well, Hendrix isn't going to be first. Not in my books.
Oh, I thought you were leaning towards that.
No. What I'm saying is that if you're putting Eddie at 1, Hendrix falls to 3. Because
and you put
no, because if you're basing it off of his prowess and everything like that, like Eddie's, I can't put Prince lower than Beck and Hendrix.
I'll give you that if you give me Eddie.
So it would go Les Paul, Jeff Beck, Jimi Hendrix, then
Prince.
it would go Prince, and then it would go Eddie. I could live with that.
Yeah, I'll live with that. Let's lock it in. Let's lock in our votes.
Okay.
Poor
So-
guys listening to this. I knew we were going to have like a tough one on that. But I'm like,
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, you know, like I said, everybody, like, my issue with Hendrix is everybody defaults to Hendrix.
they do. They
right?
do.
It would be like, who's the greatest female singer of all time?
Like people will always default to Whitney Houston.
Or Aretha Franklin, right?
Yeah, true.
And I would be sitting there saying, well, no, Janice. Because I'm just saying Janice.
Yeah.
She's default because she's great and she's amazing and she was from the 60s. And,
Right. Yeah.
Hendrix was amazing. But I've actually, if you YouTube, Hendrix plays acoustic guitar. It sounded like a cat was running across the strings. And I'm sorry, but I love Hendrix, and I can sit there and listen to a Jimmy album. He's hanging on my wall behind me.
Yeah, true.
Okay? He is looking down in shame on me right now, and I don't care.
I loved Hendrix in the West, especially. Like, that was, again, one of the things my dad got me into when I was younger. Fire Frag's out. Sad.
Yes. Happy Gilmour.
Happy Gilmour.
Frank, you have yourself a good one, man. So, to recap. Let's recap. Because we do have to fix a couple things, okay?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. So you had your one replacement already.
Yeah, I put Gilmour in there, right?
You put Gilmour in place of
Buckethead. Yeah.
Okay. Now I have a replacement.
Yeah.
And I have to get either Chuck Berry or Alex Lifeson on this list.
Okay.
I have to.
Yeah.
Right? I cannot have them not on the list. So my thing is that if I put Chuck Berry right, if I took Chuck Berry and put him at like 28, where you have Jason Becker.
You know what?
But that's insulting to Chuck Berry.
Not entirely. He wasn't like a killer guitar player.
What?
He wasn't a killer guitar player.
Who, Chuck Berry?
Yeah, like he was good.
Yeah, but Alex Lifeson probably fits there better than Chuck Berry fits there.
Yeah, maybe. Well, what do you got higher than Jason Becker?
So here's what I have. Here's what I have to try and make up for because we royally fucked up. I have Alex Lifeson who didn't make it.
Right.
Okay. Albert King didn't make it.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever, right? So that's Pete Townsend.
That's tough too. Yeah, there's some super fans. I love what he did on acoustic more than anything.
Yeah. Then you got Chuck Berry, right?
Yeah.
And Chuck Berry and Alex Lifeson to me are the two snubs we have so far.
Yeah.
Some other guys that I have on my list that never got picked. Rick Nielsen.
Yeah.
Johnny Winter.
True.
Albert Lee.
Yeah.
Jerry Cantrell.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, okay, yeah, if I look back at like some of my 80s guys, definitely, yeah.
Stone Gossard.
Yeah.
Right. Ronnie Wood didn't make it.
True.
Dickie Betts. John Lennon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steven Stills.
Yeah. Steve Stevens.
I didn't have him.
No.
Randy Bachman I had on my list.
Yeah, I thought of Randy Bachman. That's a tough one.
Mick Ronson.
Yeah, Ronson I had.
Mick Taylor. Ray Cooter.
Ry Cooter, yeah.
Yeah, Ray Cooter. Scotty Moore. James Burton. Oh, wait, I had James Burton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we did
put,
have. Yeah,
yeah.
so I had him on my list. Freddie King. Greg Howe. Eric Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
We
I
did.
feel like
Did we skip over Eric Johnson? Oh, we did.
we did.
Oh,
That's another snub. So I need to try. I need to try and make a third of this right in some way.
man.
And you know who we didn't put on here?
Who's that?
And I don't even think he was on my list, and I'm just thinking about it now, and he probably didn't make yours. Is I can never pronounce his name. Bona.
Well, Bonamassa. No
Yes.
shit, eh? Yeah.
Bonamassa never made it.
Yeah. Fuck.
Right?
Man, this doing a live thing's tough. Like, we could look back at this list and fix it, but like, man.
Yeah, and I'm looking at like my Rob Baker choice now.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right? You know,
Shit, man.
like I'm looking at some of these going like, God damn it. But you know, like I can make one of it right. The question is what?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the guy to take out is Jason Becker. Even though I know that's one of yours. But
yeah, but no, I get it though. And I can live with it because he didn't go on to do right. Unfortunately, not his fault, but.
And here's where I'm going to pander to the audience. Okay? This is where I pander to the audience. And there's Canadian bias.
Yeah.
Rush fans are vicious, and I do not need Rush fans coming after me. So at 28, okay, it's Alex Lifeson.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm doing this for you Rush fans. Because I'm pretty sure no Chuck Berry fans are going to come after me, and if they do, I think I can handle them.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Chuck Berry fans.
Yeah.
They're probably pretty old right now in the Rockers.
I think I can handle them. So Alex Lifeson is at 28.
Okay.
That is where we leave off. What do you think? Man. What do you think is going to cause the most controversy here?
Probably our bottom 20. It felt so safe at first.
You know what? You think you have all the space in the world,
man?
Right?
I built up like I was scrambling. I was like, I had all these guys, and like I'm kind of going through all guys and girls.
Wait till we do 200 singers, because that's what we have to fix for Rolling Stone.
They did 200, yeah. I was gonna say, can we do 100? But I'm sure we could do 200. I think the most important thing is we gotta be able to segue faster. We don't have to tell a story about all of them. Just okay, I picked this, you picked that.
Well, the reason I was doing the parts where we talk about it is because we need to promote this, right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
To promote it, I wanted to have some basis that we actually know what we're talking about, not just picking names out of the air. So at least I can take some of them and promote them.
Yeah.
And use them for shorts and that. But I think for the first little bit, it's going to be important to explain why we're choosing some of these, and it might take a little longer.
Yeah.
But we also have to introduce ourselves to people who don't know us from a hole in the wall.
True. Yeah. And I mean, with my first run too, I got a few things to kind of work on, and even my lighting.
So you know what I have? I have 2 lights in front of me. They're Elgato floodlight lights here.
Okay.
And I have those, and then that's all I need.
Okay, nice.
And then I have like blue lights that light up the background.
Well, you know what? My one of my lights in here is blue.
So if you're gonna,
I just gotta switch the other one.
if you're gonna do that, then you need to get a couple white lights
Yeah.
and it
Okay.
looks so that way it lights up your face and it takes any tinges away.
Sounds
But
good. Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
It's
The bags under my eyes.
yeah. Hey, but dude, it's part of getting old, man.
Yeah, it
Uh,
is. I know.
but yeah, like honestly, for our first run through on this, I think it went pretty well.
I think so. Yeah.
You know, we got upwards of 11 viewers at one point,
Okay.
so that's good.
Yeah.
Anytime you are over 5, 6, something like that,
Hmm.
you're usually pretty good. And then
Okay.
it's just it's I'm gonna take a lot of this and start clipping it up and using it for YouTube and that, and then
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. Do some promo with it, and oh yeah.
exactly. So
So on my end, what I'm looking at, like I could see the chat. I can't reply to it, but I can like by voice. But is
yeah.
there a part on here that I can look to see how many viewers are in, or like, because I just see your control screen and then
Oh, what you see in here? Yeah. So
yeah.
if I was to pull this screen over, this is my
Okay.
dashboard, right? So
Okay.
right now we have 4,
Yeah, I gotcha.
right? Oh, I got a message from Beach's Monkey asking where did Dimebag Darrell fall?
Oh, that was that around
Dimebag,
20?
we have Dimebag Darrell in at number 24.
Yeah.
So let me just recap in case someone's popped in and they want to know. We have David Gilmour at 25. We have Dimebag Darrell at 24. Joe Perry 23. Gary Moore at 22. Tony Iommi 21. Joe Satriani at 20. Mark Knopfler at 19. Steve Vai at 18. George Harrison is at 17. Zach Wild at 16. Billy Gibbons at 15. BB King at 14. Slash at 13. Jimmy Page at 12. Eric Clapton at 11. Chet Atkins at 10. Stevie Ray Vaughan at 9. Randy Rhoads at 8. Brian May at 7. Duane Allman at 6. Les Paul at 5. Jeff Beck at 4. Jimi Hendrix at 3. Prince is at 2. And Eddie Van Halen is at number 1. After much negotiation and debate. So that's where we ended up. And yeah.
Oh, just like college.
Just like college days.
Just
Yeah.
without the whiskey and the Mario Kart.
And see, like, if I said we're going to keep alternating, I would have had my number 1 pick.
Yeah, yeah, you would have. I would have messed you over on the number 2 though.
Well, you would have put Eddie there.
Yeah.
Right? You would have totally put Eddie there.
Yeah.
And that's fine because I would have put Prince at 1.
Man, that's huge.
Right? Because I was in between, like I said, Hendrix, Prince, and Beck.
Yeah.
And the only reason I fight Prince more than Beck is catalog.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Jeff Beck is, if you're just taking it on pure skill,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Beck is, no one touches him in the top 10.
Yeah, like
Skill.
it's a whole different thing, right?
In terms of skill, but if you're also asking about the catalog,
Yeah.
and let's say record sales, writing, a big hit, all that stuff.
Yeah.
with all due respect to Hendrix, he did it for what? What was his run? 4.5 years?
I
5 years?
I think it was about 6 or something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was his run.
Yeah.
Prince did it for 3 decades.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I was even like if we go back to Jason Becker, that run was cut short too, right?
Yeah.
So I was okay when we made a decision on that. It's like okay.
Well, yeah, like the thing is about like with all due respect to Becker, his run was cut short, but it didn't have the impact of Hendrix. Now,
No. Yeah.
I think Hendrix gets, I guess it's hard to call it this, but the Cobain boost.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Because they died young. You never know, right? You kind of
Yeah.
you get immortalized in that.
Yeah.
And there's really no telling if they would have been better. It's
Hendrix-
just speculation. Everyone's like, "Oh man, they were just like in their prime."
Yeah, Hendrix could have been exposed to the 80s.
Yeah.
Right, and released an album that would be in line with Paula Abdul.
Yeah.
And what would his legacy have become?
Yeah.
Like,
he could have like totally like despised where music went and become a hobo. Some people do that too.
Yeah. Well, just look at Santana's band and some of the funk bands from the 70s.
Or Brian Wilson with the drugs.
Yeah.
And then just became a recluse. Sid Barrett from Pink Floyd.
Yeah, like
completely psychosis and whatever, and completely out of his mind. And
yeah, you just have to look on my wall of like I love that era, right?
Yeah,
I love Janis, I love Jimmy, and all that, but I just don't know.
Yeah,
what Hendrix's influences would have been.
Oh, totally.
If he had to release an album in 1984.
Yeah.
And would anybody care?
Yeah. True enough.
Right? Now, because let's be honest, they've kind of have a resurgence now with pop music and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bee Gees, you didn't get anywhere close to being as big as the Bee Gees were in the 70s.
No. Disco took over.
And 1984 came along.
Yeah.
And the Bee Gees had their fan base.
Yeah.
Right? But would Hendrix have made it through the disco era? Who knows? He might have put out a disco album.
Never know.
You don't know.
Sometimes good not to know, but
but the thing is like that's what I mean. Like if you're looking at body of work,
yeah,
right. I like Hendrix gets it. Amy Winehouse gets it.
Yeah.
Janis gets it.
Yeah, Jim Morrison
gets it.
Yeah, they're immortalized.
Shannon Hoon missed it by a year.
He
was 28.
Yeah.
He missed by 1 year for the boost.
But people still give him that credit, right? Like, oh, amazing singer.
Name me a
Lane Staley, same thing.
Name me a one-hit wonder though that has had the longevity of Blind Melon.
Yeah, no doubt. Which sucks because I actually like some of the later stuff with the other singer, but
I love Blind Melon. Like they're one of my favorite bands, and I saw them live twice. I saw them headline with Tea Party and 13 Engines, and I saw them open for Tom Petty at Maple Leaf Gardens. Like I saw them a lot. I love that band. But let's be honest, commercially, they had No Rain and Change.
Galaxy.
Well, Galaxy is when he lost his mind.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the interview on that?
No.
They interviewed the whole band, and they were like, that's when we were legitimately scared for him. Because
really,
when he was like breaking the glass of the car with his head?
Yeah.
That wasn't prop glass. He was literally doing it.
My God.
And they were like, he was losing his mind.
Wow.
Because apparently it was all because of No Rain.
Jeez.
Because he would go to a radio station to promote soup.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Can you play No Rain?" They would go anywhere to promote the new album, and they were always asking about No Rain.
Yeah.
And he just lost his shit. And that was part of it, was that, like, there's It's on YouTube. Watch like Blind Melon Galaxy interviews or something like that, and
Okay.
it's literally the band going like, "We were scared."
Wow.
Like on that video, you can see him losing his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rough, man.
So, but yeah, man. Hopefully you enjoyed your first Twitch experience.
That was cool, man. Looking forward to more. Looking forward to building this.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll
Yeah.
clip things up and everything, and try and get some stuff out there and all that. But yeah, it was super fun. We ran a bit long, but hey.
Yeah, we'll try and get that figured out too.
Yeah,
Baby steps, growing pains.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if we decide to do the 200 singers in one go, I think it's going to be one of those things where if you have an open Saturday, we do a special one and start early in the day or something, because that one's going to be a long one.
That's right.
But we'll figure it out. But to everybody who came in and hung out and watched tonight and participated, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
We will be back next Monday for another one. Check on the Discord for topics. If you have a topic you would like to send, you can do so. Also, you can go to our Patreon and you can suggest content ideas for us. And we're going to take it from there. So until next time, everybody, say bye to everybody, Matt.
Peace out. Thanks again.
Take
Love,
care,
peace,
everybody.
chicken grease. Woo.